So as you can see, I've learned absolutely nothing, and I probably don't have a career as a ukulele player. Anyway, hey guys, welcome to the next episode of the Quarantine Pods. I'm Peter, this is Damien, you guys know us by now. Thank you very much for sticking around for yet another week. This is, I think, week 4 now.
Yeah, week 4.
Fantastic, it means that we're doing a real podcast. This is actually commitment. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I don't know, the days are blending in, so it's hard to keep track of what day we're at, so...
Yeah, but that's just COVID-19 in general at the moment.
That's just, yeah, that's it, 100%.
And especially on that matter there, shout out to you guys, Australia. We've just been told this week we are officially starting to flatten the curve. We've got new cases below 1% of total causes each day.
Yeah, I think so.
For a week or something, yeah. So we're basically as close to the curve as we're allowed to say we can get without over-promising anything. And hopefully it means things will be fixing up sooner rather than later here in Australia. What do you think?
Get our industry back on track.
We're ready?
Yeah, we're definitely ready. No, I'm looking forward to it. I think, like I said, it's the statistics look good. Obviously, you're hearing less cases, obviously, in this country per day.
We're accidentally getting something right.
We're getting something right, and let's just hope there's a nice, safe way to get back to it.
Well, it's a pleasure to be sitting down doing nothing with yourself and the rest of you guys as well. And thank you once again for all the feedback and contact we're getting from you guys. It's been pretty good. I mean, we've had Facebook comments. You've had messages from people.
Yeah, direct messages,
phone calls. And of course, our email, quarantine@88to1.productions. Thank you very much for some of the stuff you've been sending through there.
Yeah.
We're going to be covering a few of the things that you guys have been talking about with that today, which appears to be just wanting to learn a bit more about how we came to do things in general.
Yeah, just how to kind of get yourself started from, I guess, we got started as crew, and we get a lot of... messages and ask for advice to do with performers and how they can get themselves rolling, get themselves going, get themselves reignited. Obviously, there's a bunch of things you can do to get yourself going. So that's what I'd like to talk about.
Yeah, now's the fantastic time to start with it. So I figured let's kick off with a bit of a slightly more interpersonal thing.
Yeah.
Before we go on to any questions about the industry, how did you get started? Tell us a bit more about the Damo story that you covered last week, because we talked about coming up at the start of film versus digital and TAFE and stuff.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
Pivotal time.
Yeah, so I guess similar to you, I got started in film school. It was kind of weird. I mean, I'm a school dropout, so did the whole school wasn't for me kind of thing, and then I was volunteering at community TV. I think I started there at 14.
Oh my God, was that Channel 31?
Access 31, yeah.
I did a couple of years on that as well. That was great fun.
So I started there at 14, and then that's when I kind of learned I want to get into film, and then I kind of worked there for a couple of years, and then...
Do you remember what shows you did?
Yeah, the British football show.
Oh, yes.
On a Saturday afternoon. That was my first paid job.
Lovely.
In film and TV. Which
Got to start somewhere.
$20 for the afternoon. So it was $20 cash in hand for community TV, which... I didn't spend it all at once.
But you're missing that now that you can't go outside and
yeah, exactly. I'll take that $20
so
now.
So kind of illegal to do our job right now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, definitely. So, I kind of did that. I did Wake Up Perth, I think it was called. Or Wake Up W.
Yes, it was Wake Up Perth. And I joined on as an audio guy when that went to Wake Up WA. I did a stint there as well.
Yeah, I used to start at, I think, 3:30 in the morning. Yeah.
Shout out to the old WA team. If you guys are watching, hope you're still going strong.
Yeah, so I started doing that.
And then, also the couch was there. I did a bit.
Yeah, I didn't do too much with the couch though.
They're still going strong.
Yeah,
though.
I think they're on Fox or Raw.
Yes, so congrats to Fred Mafrica and the team. Good to see you guys are still going healthy for another.
I think that was one of the only live shows I didn't have much to do with, because they used to do like a waffle show as well for the WAFL. Waffle On, I think it was called. I had a bit to do with that. But yeah, pretty much majority.
Was great. Plenty of variety there. Lots of people to talk to, and he brought in some music acts as well.
Yeah,
I tried to do a music act on this. I learnt 2 chords. It was shit.
Yeah, it was okay. You're right.
So, what were you specifically doing around community TV? Like, were you just assisting? Or
funnily enough, it started through school. So, when I think it was year 10 from memory, we did they called it, I think, the on-site program. So, the on-site program's like, they work experience. You go work at a place for a day a week or some shit. And, I just said I wanted to do media. So, they threw me at Access 31. So that's funny enough, through school's how I got my start. So I was there one day a week in the presentation room, which is where for those that don't know, the presentation room's like where all the shows go to air. So you got all back then anyway, you got all your tape decks and everything.
It's not exactly a studio's master control, it's usually for a TV station.
Yeah. So, You know, you had like, I think your beta tapes, your VHS.
Oh my God, Betacam. Giant.
DV machines and stuff. And we'd actually literally be playing off it because now it's all computerized.
Yes.
But back in those days,
We were the generation that went from the old, tape systems.
Yeah, we're the generation that literally went through leaps in a space of a few years. I mean, like, you know.
I think by the time I got into learning broadcast, it was already on a DV tape system. They'd already started switching into like XD cam and stuff by the time I
so we started
graduated.
to go through that point.
Yeah.
But I came in just at the end of the first little era where they were still running, well, Access 31 anyway, was still running off beta cams and DV and VHS stuff. So you were running. So we had like 4 or 5 machines that would have there, and you're queuing those up. So you try to queue up 3 or 4 in advance. And I remember like
get your time code right.
Yeah, and and you have to start I think 4 seconds and 24 frames before on air. Like that's because of the roll count. I remember that.
Oh yes, that's right, built-in pre-roll.
Yeah,
did you have any of the tape machines there where if you left it for 5 minutes, it would go out of pre-roll mode and it would just stop?
Yeah.
Meaning if you went to play again, you'd suddenly have a live freeze live on the air, and then started playing the ad.
We had those. I used to love love the fact because I think we only had one DV machine. We had 2 VHS, I think 2 betas and 1 DV, but we'd have like 6 programs in a row that needed DV. So you'd have like a 45-second window to swap out the tapes. So what you'd do, but you'd try and do like your queue them all up at 424.
Yes.
Beforehand, so you have like 6 or 7 in a row.
So before you start your shift, you're going through, enter time code, go.
Usually when one of the long, like, because, back then it'd be like these long ass fucking programs. It'd be like a 90 minutes, I don't know, fucking somewhere from another country, and it'd be just a straight play on VHS. So use that time to get all your tapes all queued up and ready to go. And
that was the one thing I do like about community TV is they did get a diverse source of interesting original content.
Yeah.
Even despite the community budget and the fact that it was filled out with live or pre-recorded content and studio shows.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I know West TV's still over there, and I think it's Channel 31 still here in Melbourne.
Yes,
but I'm not sure.
Was it Adelaide? I think it is 31.
31's here in Melbourne.
Oh yeah.
There could be. I'm not sure what Adelaide has.
I don't remember the last time I turned on free-to-air TV.
Yeah, same. So I'm not too sure how they go about it, but I think community TV is a good chance for young people, young filmmakers, or new to it filmmakers to kind of put their shit out there.
It taught me plenty.
Yeah. Well, I actually learned all my editing through 31.
Except grammar, apparently.
Yeah, me and you both. But I learned all my editing through Access 31 back in the day. Yeah, so I remember like I was editing on all of them. Avid, Premiere Pro or Premiere back then, and I think I learned a bit of Final Cut as well.
Oh, you poor man.
So by the time I actually went to TAFE film school, like I already kind of knew how to edit. So.
I remember us going into first day of going, and this is an Avid system, and this is the Avid keyboard. Do you remember how they had that separate keyboard with all the pictures, Yeah. It's a professional one, but for someone who's coming into that didn't know anything, I'm just sitting there going, why is there a picture of scissors?
That was what was cool for me. Like I went into that class and I think it was Cert 3 for us it was.
That's right.
And I already knew everything. Like not every little thing, but I knew all the basics back to front because I knew Avid. Because I think Avid's for those who have any kind of interest in editing and everything like that. Avid, it's scary at the start because it looks so fucking upside down and twisted and like trying to crack the Da Vinci Code. But once you learn it, it's simple as.
Yes.
So.
And the one thing I like about Avid is it transcodes everything into DNX as a native format, so it's much quicker to work through.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting a bit nerdy there. Is it still just the Golden 3? What is it? Avid, Premiere, and Final Cut? Are we acknowledging that Resolve is an NLE yet? I don't want to.
I don't think I care. I use what I use. So,
I mean, we used Resolve a bit for TKG, obviously, for grade.
We did,
and then a couple of the extra exports going through for some recrops.
Yeah.
But for the most part, our entire job's Premiere these days.
Creative Cloud, yeah.
Especially since we learnt on Avid.
Yeah. Well, I learned Premiere first, then I went to Avid. And then I used Avid for years.
Yes.
Like I used Avid pretty much from like 06 to, I want to say 2012.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And then I think 2013 we started bringing Premiere. Because then Premiere went to like Creative Cloud and interlinked everything and Adobe kind of upped their game a bit. And
nice. So at the moment you ended up in TAFE and you realised this is what I was committed. And I mean, I personally know from going through the same TAFE courses as you.
Yeah.
I know you stepped up in a way that quite a lot of the other people. Well, I'm not going to say they didn't step up, but let's face it, a lot of us weren't really as prolific with trying to get off-slate films going.
Yeah.
What do you think motivated you to get going there, and where did your drive come to go? Okay, I'm in TAFE. How do I, bam up this next step?
TAFE was an interesting journey for me. So I obviously starting out, I was in the same boat as everyone in the first year because you got to remember, like when we started, we went from being school kids to being TAFE kids.
Mm-hmm.
So you were still getting that sense of freedom, not being shackled to school. So that was kind of the first step, and I think and then I was also going in from I've got a little bit of experience at 31, so I know how to edit, I know how to use cameras, I know studio setups, and I remember our first year at TAFE, I was able to step up mainly because we're covering what I already covered at 31. So I became almost like, in my class anyway, I became like a little pseudo leader because I already knew, and I was able to kind of teach. Nice. And help teach others, especially when I think Cert 3 we kind of did our own little things, but then Cert 4 went more to studio work.
Yes.
And so I was able to kind of go, I've done this before, I've done multicam, I knew how to switch, I knew how to direct.
Here we go again.
Yeah, so I was kind of like, so I was kind of going through the motions a little bit in first year because I kind of like, I feel like I've been there, done that. So I think going into second year, it was easier for me to step up already having that foundation of experience by going out there. And because not only did I finished school early and then I went and did 31 for like a solid year and a half. It wasn't just one day a week. Like once I left school, I was at Channel 31 sometimes 7 days a week.
True.
Like I'd go in there just for the going in there because I went in there, I had friends there, I got along with all the staff there. So some days I'd just rock on in and just chill out and just help, it's like do some editing or do some of this, do some of that.
That's how you pick it up.
Yeah, and then some days you'd be there for 13, 14 hours without realising it and you've done a whole bunch of shit. So I was then from there, I kind of was like, so that kind of gave me a foundation to build from. That was just hustle, and then kind of when I went into TAFE, it was like, all right, we're covering what I already know. And it was a fine line between, I don't want to be that dickhead that says he knows everything because he's still here to learn. Yeah. And I was pretty good with all the lecturers and mentors at TAFE. I was good. There was only one editing lecturer I kind of had a run-in with, and that was only because I was in that kind of 18-year-old mindset one afternoon of fucking around and not listening when he was trying to demonstrate something.
I live with you. You haven't left that mindset.
And I remember he called me out in front of the class and said, what were you talking about? And because I already knew how to use Avid and no one else knew how to use Avid, I was able to answer every question he threw at me. And that was it was a bad lesson for me to learn because my smart ass actually like paid off because I was able to kind of like...
Well, hey, it's a thing of, you can... be as grandiose as you want if you've got the skill and knack to back it up.
Yeah, he didn't like me very much after that. Yeah. But and that's fair enough too, because I wouldn't like me either.
Well, as I've always said, the first step to being an arrogant prick that knows everything is to actually know everything.
To actually back it up, yeah.
Correct.
But then from there, I kind of like going into second years when I really felt stepping up because
this was the diploma years.
Yeah, because we kind of went in and we got to do things like music videos, short documentaries.
What do you think of music videos? I mean, I love doing them. They're always a good challenge. It's definitely a fun thing to do. I mean, we've done a couple ourselves.
Yeah, I enjoy it as an outlet.
Shout out to, Armored Earth for we helped them with one of their singles for an EP last year.
It's a lyric video,
Anthem for the Downtrodden, I think it is.
Yeah.
That was a pretty fun one to work on. They wanted a nice, simple concept. They gave me enough time to flesh it out and give them a lyric video.
Yeah. Music videos are a fun outlet. Like it's because it's mainly visual storytelling.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And for me, like I've got my own system in place for it. Like I love music. Like I do. I love music. So I love sitting down with an artist and understanding a couple things about them. Like what is the song about? Because the beauty about music that I love is the intricate lyrics and read between the lines and figure out what these songs are about. Because I think the best songs are so vague that you can get your own interpretation of them.
Yes.
And a good music video backs that up. And so when you kind of learn about the song, but you also learn how they're trying to portray themselves as an artist and having the challenge of trying to visually, do both. Make sure you're telling the story of this song, but also painting them in the light they want to be painted in. So I do enjoy it. So I wouldn't do it full time.
Of someone, paying you to do a music video, at what point does the money eventually become enough that you go, okay, screw the creativity, it's just going to be hot people in front of a beach?
Well, I mean, if the artist wants hot people in front of a beach, then I'll put hot people in front of a beach.
I think that's a good thing for artists to want.
Yeah, so, but I mean, like I said, music videos like film.
Yes.
Like, it's like film and commercials. Like, you can do your generic piece to camera and just soulless pool party, people walking around. But at the end of the day, if you get to have fun with it and be creative with it, it's going to be a better ride.
So is there a greater flexibility when you're doing music videos to like be creative and play, or do you think it's the same in film, commercial, whatever you're doing?
Oh, greater flexibility.
Yeah?
Yeah, definitely greater flexibility because you don't have to worry about like a music video. There's a couple things to it. It doesn't. If you do a good one, people can then read into it. They can interpret it. They can have fun with it. Other people just want the pretty visuals.
Yes.
So it's not as much pressure. Whereas somebody's not going to sit down for a 90-minute film and 30 minutes in, if they don't get the film, they'll turn it off.
And it's a different kind of audience, even if it's the same people. Like they're in a different mood. I mean, you and I love music videos. We normally turn on, what is it, Channel V or Music Max of an evening and just put some music videos in the background while we write down and do editing.
Yeah.
And it's good to be able to make that kind of stuff where people can put rage on in the background of something of an evening. Have local content produced by hopefully experts such as ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, going back to what I like, I just love, I love trying to. For me, it's the challenge of give me the song and the lyrics and learn a little bit about the artist and then kind of pitch them ideas. That's the process about it that I like, because then it gets to be creative. And then on the day, you're just visually trying to tell a story, which is cool. Or try visually create a feeling.
Yep.
To an audience to then justify the song and the artist.
And justify they certainly do. Oh, well, that's probably enough chit-chat and delay. We're here today to talk about a bit more of an expansion on last week's stuff to do with the casting process. We've had a lot of fantastic feedback from our email, quarantine@88to1.productions, as well as through direct messages to both yourself and the 88 to 1 page, with a couple of extra questions about what can you specify on. And I'd like to go over a bit more of that today, just flesh it out, and
Bring it on.
just get a little bit more of your noggin up then onto the people.
Yep.
So, first up, we want to know, how is the situation different for actors now to when you were coming up and starting and you were getting your experience? Because we want to know how things have progressed and what trends you've seen, where are these trends going? That's one of the questions that people have been asking.
Cool. So first of all, what I want to say is a lot of my knowledge comes from two places. So before, I kind of clarify all this and talk about that kind of stuff. Yes, I'm a writer, director. I've obviously run my own production company for some time now, but I'm also head of operations of Fusion Studios, and Fusion Studios is a company that works with performers and helps them break into the industry. So over the last 5 years of helping run that company and helping that business with...
You've had a good team of people there.
Yeah, connecting performers to agents.
Lee Smith. He's been great. Obviously, Craig
Bradley, CEO of Fusion Studios, creator of Fusion Studios. So working with those guys and working with that company, I've been able to have great relationships and worked with talent agents all across Australia, worked with casting directors all across Australia, obviously production houses and everything. So I've been there to see performers from being rejected by agents to getting signed by agents. So it's not just my writing and directing experience coming in. I just want to clarify that. It's also the experience I've had with Fusion Studios and helping performers on their journey into breaking in.
That was a very lovely, eloquent way of saying, that's who the fuck I am.
Yeah. Well, just in case someone's watching this going, oh, he's just a director. What does he know? Just look at my resume. But to answer your question, so what are the challenges for actors now as compared to, say, 10 years ago?
Yes. So when you were starting off and you got your experience as a director, have you noticed any trends in what actors starting off need to focus on? Have they changed? Are the fundamentals
I think the fundamentals are the same. I think that how you get the fundamentals has changed.
Oh, it's different approaches.
Yeah, different approaches. So nowadays it's a lot easier to get accessibility to headshots and showreels and castings and so much more, because I think nowadays there's a lot more short films being made. There's a lot more web series, but there's a lot more content being produced at the lower levels.
And for different markets.
So performers now have more opportunity to audition for more things on their own than they did, say, 10 years ago.
True.
Now, there was still content being produced 10 years ago. I mean, we're all part of that.
But internet wasn't
as
prolific.
Like when we first started, web series wasn't a thing.
Yeah. Well, there was no bandwidth for web series.
Yeah, exactly. So there wasn't...
And suddenly you've got, what, a frame?
Yeah, exactly. So web series wasn't a big thing. So that probably around 2012, 2013, web series started kicking in. So last, 6 or 7 years ago. So there's just more opportunities for them to do it. Now, the fundamentals of a performer, of the challenges of how do you actually get started, are the exact same. Have a headshot, have a showreel, get yourself some representation.
Good.
And nowadays, representation is more important because of the systems in place. I mean, if you're unrepresented, that could be an issue.
is it a you don't stand a chance issue, or things are going to be hindered?
Things are going to be extremely hindered to the point where it's close to not having a chance.
So kind of
I'm not going to say you don't have a chance.
Kind of like on Bill Murray level, where he doesn't actually have an agent, he has a phone number, and whether or not he rocks up is entirely at his discretion after you've called him.
Something like that.
Cool.
But like, yeah.
So be Bill Murray or get an agent.
Get an agent, yeah. And I think that, well, because not only that, like, unless you're a child, then that's fair enough. Like, because if you're a child under 15, okay, you probably don't. You might not have representation.
Mum's probably your agent.
Yeah,
and
that's okay because you're young. You're not supposed to be experienced, and most times or not, unless you're a famous child actor. Like if they want a child, they want somebody undiscovered.
Yep.
So they've got control over that. So, but if you're an adult and you're not represented, then the opportunities, unless stroke of luck, you've just bumped into a big time casting director, or you've bumped into a big producer at a coffee shop or something, and you just so happen to have a conversation.
Yes.
It
happens.
Yeah, it does, and that's why I don't want to say you've got no shot. But the briefs and castings that come through always go through the channels, which goes through the casting directors to the agents, back through to the talent.
So if you're in the system, it's a lot easier.
Yeah,
to,
and I think the challenges as well. To what differs from and what makes it more harder these days as well as back in the day. So there's a bit of there's positives and negatives on both sides. 10 years ago, there wasn't as many talent agents.
Touche.
So these days there's too many talent agents these days, and especially in Australia. Like
Is it balancing out? Is it like have we hit an oversaturation and it's slowly sorting itself out again?
I don't think so. I think if anything, it's just going to keep growing.
Oh,
I think agents will shut down. I mean, I know plenty of agencies that were operating and then they've just kind of not even shut down, just abandoned ship.
Are you seeing agencies tend towards more of like we're an agency that casts web series, we're one that casts, films?
Not so much here.
Not here.
Not here. Like, I mean, in the States, you'll have your commercial agent, then you'll have your your film and theatrical agent. But yeah, over here it's one and the same. But over in America as well, and I think in the UK and some of these other bigger marketplaces, you're going to have an agent and a manager. You know what I mean? You're going to have a commercial agent, a theatrical agent, and then a manager. You know what I mean? So you might have 3 people representing you for different things.
We'll going into a lot more detail about those roles in a bit.
Where over here, it's like one and the same. So one agent
Which
does all.
system do you think's more effective?
The Yanks, over there.
So you reckon having a second person?
Yeah. Well, because there's more to look after too. I mean, you got to look at
so the second role is a byproduct of a larger industry?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I don't think over here you can sustain being just a manager or just an agent. I think in Australia it has to be this way.
So you got to kind of multitask.
Yeah.
And,
because it's fuck all for you to do. Like compared to
True.
in the US. Like, in the US, I mean, a talent agent's getting you the roles or whatever, or putting you forward for the role, whatever, right? Once
probably
that's
a lot more
done,
work in the US to go
once
around
that's
as well,
done, they need a manager to help take over some of that. They need a manager to make sure the actor's doing their day-to-days. That's the other thing as well. Like, over here, like...
What is a day-to-day for an actor?
Okay, yeah, everything. Making sure that you're in shape, making sure that you're trying... Because you got to think about it. If you get cast in a film and you've got to bulk up, you got to have a training regime.
Yes.
You can't actors aren't children. They can look after themselves. But the bigger they are in terms of star power,
yes,
you need to make sure that they're going to the gym. You got to make sure that they're working with their trainer. You're organising the trainer they're working with. If you've been cast in a boxing film, then the production house and your managers, they're going to sit down and make sure, okay, we've got to get him in with a boxing trainer.
Yep.
We've got to get him with a skill and conditioning coach. We've got to get him in with these people and this and this. So there's a lot more day-to-day to do once you're actively working.
Yes.
Yeah, and doing guest appearances, doing talk shows, that comes down to the manager as well. So there's a whole bunch of other things and commitments the manager's going to take care of that the agent won't over there.
Wow, vastly different. And another thing I'd like to go over, which you were mentioning before, and if you could flesh out, because it's actually a really important thing to bring up, is the dynamic on how you start out with approaching this changes. Whether you're a child, a teen, an adult, or even a young adult, or just an adult or a mature age, actor starting off, like there's a completely different process from what I can figure according to how you approach this. As you were saying, children, you don't need a manager at the start. Adults, you kind of do. Like, can you break this down? It's probably a big question. It's going to take a bit of a reply. Yeah. Like kids,
all right,
adults.
So kids-wise, I think the question, it's more for the parents because obviously for young children. So if you're the parent of a child that wants to be an actor, what you got to do is you've got to be patient with them and take it slow, because
And learn, which this podcast is helping you with. Good
yeah,
job.
and I think that the other thing with children is, you know, you go on a Wednesday you want to be a cop, on Thursday you want to be a fireman, on Friday you want to work with animals, on Saturday you want to be an actor. So depends on how young the child is. Like I don't start taking things seriously until a child like a performer's at least in their teens.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think that when you're about 14 or 15, that's when you can start to get an idea that this is what I want to do.
Is there a drastic difference between children and teens? I'm sure, obviously, they've developed their acting abilities.
Yeah.
But casting them, you know, the way they go about getting work, is it the parents still sorting it when they're teens, or are they expected to be a bit more independent at this point?
A bit of both. I think that the independence comes from the mentality of the team.
Cool.
I think that they don't need to be babysat on set. They don't need to be like, you know, babied through it all. They've got a little bit more understanding about how things work, but the parent still needs to absolutely be there for when the negotiations are happening and when people are trying to cast them, or the audition process. That the parent definitely needs to be there.
Do the teens need to be getting an agent at this point?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so.
So
Yeah.
start at a teen.
Yeah, but the same thing, like, it's tough as well because it depends on how old the teen is. Because you got to remember, you're always casting down. So, you know, if you are casting a 15-year-old in a film, you're finding someone who's 18 to play 15. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? 19 to play 15. You know, if you might be casting a 13-year-old to play a 9-year-old, 10-year-old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're always casting down. So when you're actually, as a teen performer, I say this with Fusion Studios Australia, we work with a lot of teens. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think 12 to 18 was like the biggest market of performers coming in looking to establish a career in the entertainment industry. And I used to always stress to them, like, this is where you need to be your most patient. Because when you're 15, 16, you're not going to get put forward for many roles. Because you're at that tough age where you don't look young enough to play a little kid, right? But you're not old enough to play your own age. Mm-hmm. Because there's laws. So when we're working with kids, like, you know, as a production house, well, let's say, you know, we want to
Depending
cast...
on where you are, it's anything from like 2 hours on set a day.
Yeah, but there's laws as how long we're allowed to keep them. Mm-hmm. So, you know, we might only be able to work, depends how old the performer is, might only be allowed to work with them for 6 hours, for 8 hours. And that's 6 hours in total. Mm-hmm. So when you look at a film set, if they
rock up in like 2 hours for makeup.
Yeah, that counts. Mm-hmm. If they're traveling an hour, that counts. So yeah, that's part of the laws as well.
Ouchies.
So if you live in Bendigo, which is an hour and a half out of Melbourne, and we're shooting in Melbourne, you've got to travel an hour and a half to set. That hour and a half comes out of your work
you've got
day.
3 hours out of your 6 hours left by the time you've got to set.
So, you know what I mean? And then you also look at things. We don't work for 6 straight hours. So we have breaks. Mm-hmm. So then we might have, okay, well, we've cast little Joey, you know, to be this kid, and, you know, call time's 9 a.m, but we're breaking for lunch at 1, and then lunch goes for 45 minutes. Well, that 45 minutes comes out of your 6 hours. Mm-hmm. And again, it depends on the age group. That then those laws change. I think as you get older, obviously the hours go up.
Certainly hope so.
Yeah. So that's another thing. That's why when you're 15, and the other thing as well is, let's say we cast Joey, who's 15 years old, 16 years old, and we say, okay, we want him in this commercial. He's a good look for this commercial. We've now got to, one, abide by the laws of working with a minor, which is fine. But then 2, we've also got to now get permission from the school.
Yes.
So we need permit. Well, the parent, at least someone has to get permission from the school. So you can't just take a day off. Legally we have to know they've got permission to be here. Now let's just say Joey's grades are shit. You know what I mean? Like, Joey's getting D's.
Doesn't matter how good he looks.
Yeah,
he's not getting out
the school says no. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So then all of a sudden we're looking for a different Joey to come in and do that. So
see that? Remember to study, Joey. Otherwise you're going to miss out on the dreams.
And it's so difficult because I have to tell performers this. Despite the fact that I'm a school dropout, I feel like such a hypocrite telling kids that school's important.
Hey, you still learned some useful things at school.
Sure.
You could have at least pretended to be convincing. Aren't you supposed to be like good with directing and acting and stuff?
Yeah, I am, but I'm not that good. Look, but the thing, the importance of school is this. For a performer, if you want to be performing and being on sets at 15, 16, 17 and 14 or whatever, like, you have to be doing good in school. Otherwise, the school's not going to let you out. And if you're represented by a good agent and they're putting you forward for a role, and then all of a sudden you have to can that role because the school's not going to give you the permission to go do it, that's going to look bad in a career. So regardless of anything, whether you think school's important or not important,
and you actually have to have that conversation with your agent. Of, I'm sorry, I can't come do that job because I'm failing.
I say to kids this, like, if you like school, great. World's your oyster. If you don't like school, then it's a necessary evil. And that's how you have to look at it. It's a necessary evil.
Yeah, still got to do it.
So, and that's the thing. So that's the thing with kids. So when you're a kid, like, you need to know. Like, I remember being 14 and going, oh, maybe I want to write stories. Maybe I want to make movies. And that was at 14, but I had no idea. Yeah, I had no idea what that was going to entail to build a career.
How did that get you to TAFE?
You just take the necessary steps. So, when you're in school,
did your high school have anything?
We had media.
Yeah, so you had a media.
We had media and drama.
Oh, you're lucky.
I didn't do drama though.
I didn't have a media class.
Oh, we had a media class. The teacher was a dick.
Aren't they all?
Yeah.
I love you, teachers.
And but he was a dick. But yeah, so I took it step by step. So you go to school and it's like, okay, well, what's the one subject I can do? Media, great. Did I have fun in media? Fuck yeah, I did. Like, it was fun. That was the only subject I really enjoyed, despite the fact my teacher was a dick.
That's quite a compliment.
Yeah.
So I hate you and I still like your teaching.
Oh, sure. But that's what you do, is you just take it step by step. Then you think, like, obviously when I left school, it was just an honest conversation with my parents. Like, my mum was just always, if you don't want to be there, find something you want to do. As long as you want to do it, I will support you.
Well, there's nothing worse for a parent than, they're wasting their money on their school fees.
But that's what parents do. Like, my mum, my parents have had my back.
What, communicate with their children?
Yeah, but like,
whoa.
But understanding that the onus is on both. Like, when you get to that age where you can start making your own decisions, like, they said they'll support me as long as this isn't a fad. As long as it's just not a phase or just a hobby. Yeah, you got to commit. And I took that to the next level and I committed 120%.
So what you're saying is it was going to be a fad, then your parents guilted you into it. And now, like 2 decades later, you can't back out. You're stuck with me.
Yeah, it's my pride won't let me quit. But
I wanted to be an accountant and now I'm stuck with Pete.
Yeah. No, but I'm a little different. Like, the way I've gone about it, I wouldn't necessarily recommend, because I think it's a bad thing to teach kids. But when I was 14, 15, I said, this is all I want to do. So I'm going all out.
You found a focus, you're focused on it.
Yeah. But I wanted to go all out. So I was like, I'm not having a backup. I didn't go to uni. I didn't create a backup plan. And then, 15 years later, I'm running classes for kids, telling them to have a backup plan. I feel like a hypocrite sometimes. But I also understand that I'm okay. Like, I'm happy to fail. Like, I'm happy to fall off the ledge.
See, the reality is that I think you still had a backup plan. Your backup plan was the fact that everyone that worked with you knew that you were hardworking and you probably could have gotten a job anywhere you wanted the moment you gave up.
I think, yeah, that's true.
Like, your reputation did precede you even early on.
Oh, thank you.
Stop it.
But
you're making dinner though.
But yeah. But that's the thing, like, because I think every step of the way, you've got options. And I had TV, because I started in TV, don't forget.
Yes.
So I went, because even when I was at TAFE.
Was this around the, time when you were 14 thinking of doing stories? Did that branch into TV, or were you doing that?
Nah, TV only branched to me when I started doing 31. So when I started Access 31, I was like, oh, TV's fun.
So probably about, 2 years later?
Yeah, about a year later.
16?
Yeah, 15, 16. I was like, okay, this can be fun. You know what I mean? This could be all right. And that kind of TV to me was natural. Like, like when I started vision switching and directing TV, I was like, it was so natural to me. I was like, I enjoy this. I'm good at this. So I always knew that was a fallback, even though it was still in the industry. So then from there, from there I got broadcast jobs. So I started working with Perth Racing, and then from Perth Racing, I worked with production, like broadcast companies like NEP and.
See, you're listing a lot of backups here that you built up. Where if it ain't,
but they were never backups in my head. Like, on the journey when I first started, it wasn't like I'm going to go to uni and get a. Just watch what I say. I'm not going to go to uni and get like an accounting degree, or I'm going to go to uni and get this degree. Like, because I'm not saying people that do that's wrong. Absolutely, they're right.
Can I say the thing? Yeah. I didn't want to go to uni and get a film degree because I actually looked at the unis. I think I mentioned this last week. The TAFE answered a lot more of my questions during the open days than the unis did. So I didn't want a film degree in uni. But I thought that
I was just talking outside of film as the backup.
Oh, in general, yeah.
In general, like, some people get a. And the other thing as well is, like, the one thing I will say to performers or film people, don't run around and tell people I'm getting a teaching degree as a backup. That's just an insult to teachers.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
they already suffer enough.
Yeah, so it's like, that's why I don't like saying that stuff. Yeah. It's like, I don't like saying that stuff because it is an insult to people in that field. Especially like, I know a bunch of people who go, I'm going to get a psychology degree. And it's like, well, as a backup. And it's like, don't say a backup. Don't say a backup because that's a common field. But
I'm going to be dealing with people's really severe trauma and mental issues, but it's only my backup plan, you know?
So
imagine sitting in front of like someone, you know, like if you've gone through a lot of trauma, I'm just here like, yes, I actually wanted to be a filmmaker, but that didn't work out. So how is your suicide feeling today? Like, that'd be awkward.
That would be pretty awkward. I'd get shitty if you sat there and said, like, I studied directing as a backup.
Yes, looking after you is my second option.
Yeah. I wasn't a fan of doing it to start with, but yeah, the steps are necessary. I created those backups along the way, and I think that's what a lot of people do. Like, I think, and that's what makes this industry good. Like I said last week, I touched on it last week.
And the mic.
Yeah, how you doing? But I touched on it last week about how. I think last week or the week before that, when you first study film, you don't realize how many roles are in film. So you go into film going, oh, I want to be a director, I want to be a producer, right?
Well, the first way, you always think that every department is actually a role. So you're like, I'm going to be the camera guy, or I'm going to be the sound guy. Then you go, all right, but what guy in sound are you going to be?
Yeah.
You know,
but that's what ends up happening because you go into the industry with a goal of I want to be a director, producer, or writer. But then as you go through it, I mean, you're right. Like I started out going, okay, I'm going to be a director, a writer, director, which I'm still sticking to that now. But along the way, I could be a broadcast cameraman because I've done that.
Yes.
I can be a floor manager. I can be
and all builds your skills, keeps you sharp.
I can be a vision switcher, a broadcast director. I can be a first AD, a second AD, a third AD, which are all full-time roles.
Not technically the same industries, but the physics is the same.
But you build your experience along the way.
Correct.
So now, like I'm in a position now that if I want to shut up shop tomorrow, I've still got pathways.
And would you say that the experience you build probably could have been a backup?
Yeah,
not
along the way,
yeah.
But that's what I mean. But I went in not having a backup. I'm going for broke doing this, but then you build it along the way. Because I didn't know that stuff existed.
True.
And then you get in it and then you realise it exists.
I still think you inadvertently built a backup without realising it.
Sure. I mean, you could say that. But I think that's
either way, it is
I think it's just the reward of hard work.
Well, it is an important thing for teens particularly to
And I think
learning.
that if you've got that ability to know, because like one of the things I say, and I think a lot of people who know me will vouch for this, is I'm always confident I'm the hardest worker in the room. That's just myself. I believe I'm the hardest worker. Doesn't mean I am, but I believe I am. So I believe I'm willing to work harder than the next person. I believe, and when you have that mentality, you don't think of backups. You always think of, no, I'm going to make this. Now, it's easy to say that as somebody who works behind the camera. It's not the same principles for those in front of the camera.
Correct.
So that's why you always got to make sure there's a distinction and difference, because when you're in front of, but then again, along the way, and this is what I love performers who understand that and they start to learn the industry and they start to really get into the nuts and bolts of the industry. And that's why I said a comment last week that a lot of them end up becoming writers. You know what I mean? Or a lot of actors become casting directors or become talent agents because there's a new field that kind of still resonates with them because it's still kind of semi in their field, but it's not directly their goal or dream. But they find that along the way and that almost becomes their backup or, you know, a different pathway along the way.
Okay.
And that's how you can do it. So I always say this, to answer the question of how does someone go about it from beginning out, it's just step by step.
Just on teens at the moment, yeah.
Yeah, step teens. It's step by step. Working out, okay, as a teen, I've got to finish school. Then after school, I've got to start making sure I'm studying performing because I've got to learn more. Because high school drama, high school drama is fun, but at the end of the day, it's not teaching you acting. You need to leave high school drama. You got to find the right course. You got to find the right, you know, things that resonate with you. You've got to build your experience. You've got to start building industry tools. You've got to learn about the industry. Because once you learn about the industry, then you can say to yourself, I want to do this, and answer that question for yourself.
Yeah. So know what's going on there.
Yeah.
Cool. Adults, what do they have to deal with that's different from the kids? I'm sure some of them probably have gone through the teens at this point, but if you're in either your mid-20s, 30s or something at this point, you're not mature, but you've suddenly realized, I love acting and this is not a fad. What are your options and how do you get a leg up on everyone else who's had head start since high school?
Okay, so this is a good question. So we're talking about like young adults, say 18 to 30?
Yeah, let's go.
Because I think you got to break it up a bit because I think
is 18 to 30 a different category from like 30 to 40 or something?
Yeah. I say that again with my work at Fusion Studios. We used to have people rocking in their mid-30s, 40s and sometimes 50s because they wanted to do it when they were a teenager, and then the real world got in the way. And then now they've done what they needed to do in life and they feel empty. So they want to go back and revisit the passion they never followed.
Good on them.
Yeah. And I support that.
Yeah.
You know what? Again, just a side note on this. I want to say something to anybody that says you have to make it by a certain age or you're not going to make it. People that say that.
No.
I want to say a massive go bleep yourself. All right.
Yes.
Because.
You've already said fuck before in this
yeah, I know.
podcast.
I'm going to watch my language. Apologies. But that's one of the feedback notes I'm getting. Nah. But I think for me, like I remember there was a guy in Perth who came over from LA. Mm-hmm. Called himself an LA talent scout, right? I called him a fucking idiot. But there goes the swearing again. I'm not going to mention his name, but it's not hard to find out who it is, especially if you're from Perth, WA. And he came over and he would run these seminars through the Perth Film Network I don't know. Actually, I'll take that. I don't know if it was through the Perth. I think it was, but I can't, so I don't want to say it was, but I think it was.
But the Perth Film Network did make a bit of effort to put a lot of courses out there and get people interested. Whether they were hit and miss is an entirely different discussion, but they made an effort.
Yeah. They did an effort, more miss than hit. But but
But this one guy, go on.
Yeah. Yep, no, that's some good initiatives. So yeah, this guy comes over from LA. He's an LA talent scout, and
yeah,
and he ran these like little seminars where, because again, and this is what shits me with Australia is if you've got an American accent. No offense to the Yanks out there, I love the Yanks, but as soon as somebody comes over with an American accent, people must think that they're Hollywooders or they're, you know what I mean? They're something
Wait, that
special.
actually works? I mean, my American accent is terrible.
Yeah, it is. But so he comes over and he does this speech to, I don't know, like a theatre of like 100 people, 100 aspiring performers. And one of the comments he makes, and I can't remember the exact age he said, but I think it was 25. And he said, if you haven't made it by 25, you're not going to make it at all. And I was like, and I heard that, and I was like,
wow,
what crack pipe is this fucker smoking?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, what are you talking about? Like
some of the greats. I mean, Alan Rickman.
Yeah. There's heaps of stories.
Harrison Ford didn't start till after he was 30.
There's heaps of people out there. I mean, people didn't blow, like Daniel Craig blew when he was like 40. So,
we always go with Abraham Lincoln, who didn't actually win a presidency until his sixth or seventh decade of being alive.
Yeah, something like that. So
technically, Trump did the same thing, but he did a few other things in the meantime.
Sure.
Like you, made a lot of people angry, I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Trump doesn't. I don't give a shit.
But more about this expert from WA.
Yeah, so he comes in and does this thing. And I was like, what shits me off is, I think that if you're 40 and you've just decided to reignite that passion,
go for it.
So, and you go into that lecture theatre and you've got somebody with the American accent, with the Hollywood label saying, you're not going to make it, rah.
That's dream crushing there, man.
I'm just like, why? Like, why are you sitting there telling people that they're not going to make it? Why aren't you giving advice to people how they can make it?
You're better off being honest and going, listen, you've got a bit of an uphill battle. You're starting late, but...
You do, but there's positives and negatives in both. And that's the thing, that I wanted... The reason why I wanted to bring him up was because I'm like, it's no one's business to crush other people's business. So it's not your place to sit there and say, if you're this age or you're this weight or you're this whatever, you're not going to make it. Shut the fuck up. Because you don't have the right to say that because you don't know. You don't know who can make it and who can't make it. You know what I mean? Oh, if you're a female that's this weight, you can't make it.
If you're in a talent agency position, it should be your job to help as many people as possible make it. It's kind of how you get paid.
And it's one of those things where, okay, if you're drastically overweight, okay, that's going to change what you can make it as. That's just the reality of the industry.
It means you're already fitting a typecast.
But if you are someone that's drastically overweight and you go, no, I'm playing this kind of role, and you nail that shit, pursue that. Yeah. That's what you should be encouraging them to do. Not saying, oh, well, you can't make it because you're too this, or you know what I mean? Or if you are someone who's older, my God, there are roles out there. And as long as if you're teaching those or educating those people to then put their effort and energy into pursuing those active roles, then that's what you should be doing. Not telling them, oh, well, it's an uphill battle because of this, or you're not going to make it because of this.
Give up. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, and it pisses me off. So and Perth, WA it's a small town. It's a country town in the form of a city. And I can say that because I'm from there. You know what I mean? And I love Perth, but like it is a country town in the form of a city. So when you've got somebody who claims to be this massive LA big head comes in and says that, you don't tell me that he's going to at least influence minimum 50% of that room are going to go home and think, fuck.
Especially if he's a guest that's been brought in from out of town.
Yeah, and not only that, is let's say he says you're not going to make it. Once you hit 25, you're not going to make it. What happens if you're a 23-and-a-half-year-old, 24-year-old that says, shit, I've got a year to do? So you're now making irrational or
imagine if you're finishing a year of uni and you're suddenly deciding I can either finish uni.
I better drop out. Or you're now making irresponsible decisions based off some idiot's lecture. Oh. And again, and the reason, and it's not their fault. It's whoever's putting that event on that says big head fucking this guy and promotes him up. Because one thing I will say is, yes, casting directors and talent scouts, they do exist and they do go out there and they go look for people, but they don't put on seminars, man. And if they do, they're once in a while. I mean, I've got to say, if you're an LA big head, why would you go, I'm going to go over to Perth, WA?
No.
Do your research. I'm sorry. Do your research. Like, and I say this thing, like, we're giving advice out now. Who are we to give advice? You can throw that at me, but we're sitting here during quarantine looking for something to do and putting out our knowledge out there. And again, everything I say, and I don't give a shit if you take offense to it, but everything I say is my opinion. This is just my opinion. Whether you like it or don't like it, agree with it or disagree with it, that's completely up to you. But I'm not.
All we can give is advice.
Yeah, but I'm not going to sit there and state false facts. You're not going to make it by this age.
Yeah,
because that does drive me up the fucking wall. But
that is a really sad thing to hear. If any of you guys that are watching this, if you guys are over 30 when you started your career and made it, we'd love to hear from you. Mention a bit of your stories for the next episode.
I know people that have done it.
Yeah.
I know a girl who was, she didn't start till she was 26. Mm-hmm. And she worked her ass off. And by the time she was 30, she was working internationally.
Well done to her.
So, but again, because that's where the positives and negatives comes in. So to answer the original question, sorry to go off track a bit.
No, please do. That was the original question.
Yeah. So the challenges for adults is this. When you're 18 to 22, 23, you're going through multiple challenges because you're working out life as well as you're trying to work out performing, because everything's new to you. Like you're now an adult, you're now allowed to go out, you're allowed to drink, you're allowed to do certain things. So they're the interesting years.
And I noticed by mid-20s you start to figure out what your life is.
Yeah, well, 18 to 25 is your play hard time. Mm-hmm. Then you'll find 25 to 30 is your work hard time, and then 30 onwards is you mix them. You play hard, work hard.
Yeah. Well, our play hard is work hard.
Yeah.
We shot TKG.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So when you're 18 to 23, they're your challenges is working your way through life, working your way and building life experience. Because if you've got zero life experience, you're going to struggle to be an actor. Mm-hmm. That's just the way it is. I mean, acting's drawing off life experience. It's channeling emotions that you hopefully have felt in the past, and you don't feel a large range of emotions until you've had life experience to feel those emotions.
Yes.
So so they're the challenges for an 18 to say 22, 23-year-old who are still trying to figure their way out through, the maze of life.
They're having the emotions, but I'm not sure how to piece it all together.
Yeah, exactly. And then when you kind of hit your mid-20s comes with different pressure now, because mid-20s is, if you're a performer in your mid-20s and you're not booking a shit ton of work, you start getting questions thrown at you by your peers. And when I say peers, I mean not so much your industry peers, but like I should say more friends and family and people like that. Because you're 25 now, you haven't got a stable job, and you haven't got this. So all these when you're getting married, and especially if you're an Italian or whatever, you cop that tenfold. But so all of a sudden you're getting all these external pressures now on you, and it can sometimes cloud you. So you're like, well, I'm being told that I'm too old for this, or I'm being told that I haven't got a stable life, and I haven't got this, and I haven't got that, and so they're the pressures that come with being in your mid-20s, trying to make it as an artist. And then as you go into your late 20s, and then as you go into your late 20s and early 30s, that's why I always say to actors when they're 26, 27, 28, I was like, stop stressing, stop thinking that there's an expiration clock, because there's not. Because I think once you hit 30, life starts to slow down a bit.
Well, I found it weird. Up until turning 30, everyone was always telling me turning 30 is going to be like a really drastic change in your life. You're out of your 20s now. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
I hit 30, nothing's really changed. Like, it's not as big a change as I was expecting it to be.
I felt less pressure at 30 than I did at 28.
I feel like I've hit the ground running out of my 20s.
Yeah, I felt at 28, I felt older than I did at 30.
Good man.
Because I don't know whether it was just my lifestyle at the time or what I was doing, I don't know. But when I hit 30, I was kind of like, okay.
You weren't living with me at the time, so I can see how that would take 2 years off your life.
Yeah. So they're the challenges before 30. Then after 30, I think you've got a lot of your ducks in a row. You know what I mean? I think that, you know, if you're 35 plus and you just wake up one day going, I want to act. Okay, great.
You've probably got enough resources and
You've got enough resources, but you've got enough maturity. And this is the biggest thing I say, is use your maturity. Because you can definitely make it if you tackle it the right way. But if you go into the industry with delusion at 35 plus, 35 to 60 or whatever, you go in with delusion, you'll get eaten. But you're in a position to go, no, I've got how many X amount of years of life experience.
I know this. I can negotiate. I've been through this.
If you treat... No one should be stupid enough to wake up one morning and say, I might be a lawyer today.
Well, that does.
Haven't studied it. I've never read it. I've probably broken more laws than I know. You know what I'm saying? But so I don't wake up and disrespect the law industry. Or I don't wake up one day and say, maybe I will be a doctor. Doesn't mean if I wake up tomorrow and say I want to be a doctor, then I say, okay, use my 30 years of life experience that I've made up, right? And how do I become a doctor? Okay, I've got to learn what to study. So now I'm going to do my research. You know, well, how long is it going to take me? How many years of studying med school? How does this work? You know what I mean? So you start to then learn. Doesn't mean I wouldn't do it.
You're aware you could probably just buy like a surgeon's clothing outfit, get a bunch of cameras, walk around the hospital, and no one will ask you questions because you'll look like a documentary crew.
Okay, Pete, this is me wanting to be a doctor, not me wanting to play doctor.
Yeah, but like,
trying to make a point.
yeah, but you'll eventually figure it out. Like, I'm sure you've got Google there. You can just like go, you've got blood. There's a bone sticking out there. Looks like broken leg. Yeah, we can fix that.
Please don't get a surgeon costume, Pete. I don't want you walking in hospitals.
Do I have to take back the bone saw?
Yes, you do.
Damn it.
But that's the thing. Like, if I do wake up tomorrow and I want to change industries, then I'm going to respect that industry enough by going, okay, what does it take to make it? So you start to research, what do I got to study? How do I got to study it? How long will it take to study? Because a lot of industries, the difference with film is, if anyone tells you need a degree, you don't. Like, you don't. Like, you need experience, not a degree. That's what you need. So, you know, where with law and you know, general practice, whatever, like, you need certificates, you need degrees, right? It's important to have those. So at the end of the day, it's like, well, if you're a 35 and you wake up one day and say, well, I want to be an actor. If you're 40, you wake up, want to be an actor. Nothing wrong with that. But if you start walking in going, it's easy, I've just got to be able to jump on camera and say, yeah, you know, here I am. Like, that's not how it works. If you're not willing to go...
harder than that.
If you're not willing to respect the craft, then don't get into the craft. But if you're a 45 plus, and I keep changing the age, but you know what I'm saying? But
45, 50, 75.
If you're you know, older and you do wake up and you have the respect
is the category
for the industry,
30 plus for this advice?
I'd probably say 35 plus.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's rare to, at 30, I think you're still kind of going through that other period where I'm still getting through the life I've currently been living kind of thing. But yeah, I think that if you wake up and go, I'm respecting what I'm trying to get into, and you look up what to study and you look up how long it takes to study, then you're now in an advantageous position to tackle this industry because you know what it takes to work. You know how hard to work. If you've run your own business on the side, you do understand it does take more than just jumping in front of a camera and being there or having a certain look to make it. And once you have that, then you're in an advantageous position. But if you're fucking delirious, you'll get chewed up.
Wow, that's been really comprehensive, man. I guess the one important thing to take out of this on, you know, all angles is, you know, life isn't over once you're 25. You can keep going, and as long as you're willing to make the effort and take it seriously, no matter whether you're young, old, the process is a bit different, but you've definitely got a chance.
Yeah.
That's a really heartening thing for people to hear because, you know, you hear a lot of stories of people struggling and still managing to, you know, get going in the industry. I mean, we know people who have been through accidents, you know, really depressing incidents, even, you know, plenty of women who have, you know, had kids and then still managed to continue to troop through in their careers, you know, continue to be prolific.
I think that that's the thing, there's so many things happen in life that you commit to things. So, you know, if you do have kids or if you do, you know, I know plenty of people that have gone on...
Or if you've been through a tragedy.
Or started a family, gone through some... I think tragedy is a difficult one because then everyone's individual gets... That's not a choice. You know what I mean? I think that I do hear a lot of... don't want to say excuse. They're not excuses, but when people say, "Oh, well, it's hard for me because I'm raising a family," or "It's hard for me because I'm doing this," and it's like, well, yeah, but everyone out there has their thing. Like when we
The cool thing
decide,
from the people that I speak with who do have families and stuff
Yeah.
is that the families usually support them. I mean, you'll have, the kids will be helping mum and dad do the line reads.
yeah, stuff like that too. But also understanding that I think we're in a day and age now where I can't judge. I don't have kids, so I can't turn around and say it's easy to juggle family and a career. Like I don't know. I know people that can do it. I know people that are doing it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that. But I think that if that's a circumstance you're in, then that's a circumstance you're in, and I think that.
But no matter your circumstances, there's definitely hope no matter your age.
Well, your circumstances are about choice, and that's why I kind of steer away from the tragedy thing. 'Cause that's not a choice. Like I mean, if you go through some hard, circumstances, tragic circumstances, well, that's something that's been put on you, and how you bounce back from that, all power to you, and I pray for you. But if you make decisions and choices, like if you turn around and go, I'm deciding to go get a law degree. I'm going to spend 4 years getting a law degree, and then I'm going to go be an actor. Then don't complain in 6 years' time that you're behind everyone else that started 4 years ago. Don't use that as an excuse.
You'll still get
You're not allowed to use that as an excuse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you
And
decide...
you shouldn't have to either.
If you decide, and I know people that have done this, they've decided to... I know people that have come out of film school, they've come out of performance school, and they get married and they decide they want to settle down and start a family. That's awesome. That's awesome that you want to do that. But you can't use that in 5 years' time as an excuse that you can't be as active in the industry because you have a family. You decided to do that. And that's not me being cold. That's just me stating a fact.
But yeah, I'm really happy to hear that, even if you choose to commit to some different things, there's still options for you.
I mean, that's the thing at the end of the day. Like, we all take sidetracks in our careers. You know what I mean? Like, I did that for my time at Fusion Studios to an extent. Like, you know what I mean? I remember, I was directing nonstop. I was first ADing. And then for 3-4 years, I was full-time helping build a company. So that's a decision I made. You know what I mean? I can't carry on that I didn't make a feature film 3 years ago because I was doing that. That's a decision I made. So,
But as
and I
credit
think,
to our entire philosophy, you got there.
Yeah, and I think, but as you get older, these things become more evident. You know what I mean? When you're younger, when you're like a teenager going into your early 20s, you think when things happen, when you make decisions,
You've got enough of your life ahead of you to do both.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think you feel forced into certain things when you're younger.
Oh, yeah.
Man. Oh, I had to go to uni to appease mum and dad, or I had to do this to do this. But
let's be honest, you have to decide what career you want to be in by year 10 these days. Otherwise,
that's what they tell you.
You're going to struggle with electives.
That's what they tell you. But I think that these days I work with a lot of performers, man. I work with a lot of industry people, and one thing that does, people can say what they want about what we talk about. I don't care, you know what I mean? But like, one of my biggest pet peeves, and the people that know me the most know this is a pet peeve of mine, when somebody tells me I'm lucky. You know what I mean? Like when I, look at you. Like, but when it came to the movie, like people are like, oh, how lucky is that? You got to go out and make your feature film. I'm like, or how lucky is it? You get to wake up every day and...
Luck wasn't sweat off our backs.
Yeah, or work for yourself. You're self-employed. You get to work for yourself. You're so lucky. That to me, ask anybody that's built a career for 10, 20 years.
I work for myself. I'm a terrible employer.
Yeah.
I hate me.
Yeah. But ask anyone that builds their own career and you call them lucky, that's an insult. Because, and there was a comment about TKG that we're privileged. And that pissed me off. And I'm going to respond to that because in a way I'm like, where's the privilege? Like, we built a company for 12 years or start the roots to a company 12 years ago. And, we work hard, we make sacrifices, you know what I mean? I wasn't, for the last 6-7 years, I haven't been able to live on a salary. I haven't been able to live with financial security. I've had to take risks and earn money and put that money back into my company and,
And then eventually you film.
And then you film. So I'm like, where am I blessed? Where am I lucky? Like for that? Like you work for that.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that, and what I'm a big believer in is I look back at the choices I make and I go, okay, well, these choices lead me here or they lead me there. I either make mistakes or I don't. Now, if I make mistakes based off my choices, that's still a win because then you learn from those mistakes. But yeah, I think that if you're one of those people that, you can grasp onto every excuse, and I'll be the first to say this, it is more challenging for actors than filmmakers.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is. and I'm not going to pretend that it's not. I mean, I'm
Well, our competition isn't other actors, and I know how feisty they
yeah,
are.
and I'm in a situation that it's like, okay, well, if I want to create content, I can, but I've put myself in a position to do that. It's not so easy for actors; they're at the mercy of the selectors. So, so I do get that as well. But even other filmmakers, when I see them kind of try to make excuses or try to, diminish somebody else's reputation because they must be lucky, or they must be privileged, or they must be this. That to me, and I don't give a shit who you are. Like that's an insult.
I mean, all the people I've worked with, they've worked hard.
Yeah.
And if they haven't worked hard, I don't work with them anymore.
Well, if they don't work hard, we don't see them anymore.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, and that's how behind the camera works. If you don't work hard, you're not seen anymore.
And you can't really hide that because there's another 30 to 50 people on the set.
Yeah, it's evident. Notice. It's fucking evident, And then actors, I guess it's a different kind of ball game. But for those guys, it's like you've got to be willing to accept the choices you've made and where it's got you. Because you will get, and luck does play a part with performers, I will say that. Because, some days you just, the right casting director's in the right mood, they give you a call back, and through that call back you win the role. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of just unlucky or bad luck, I should say.
But you can beat a lot of that luck by,
Well, the harder you work, you're putting yourself in a position to get luck.
Because all of a sudden, your showreel and your
headshot... Luck comes down to you walked in the right room on the right day where everything went right for you. And I see that time and time again. We were talking last week about the casting process, about how, we have actors come in and, what I mean? If you get me on a day...
say it's almost that you're building your luck, and if you work hard enough, you'll be that lucky guy.
Put it this way, we're doing casting at the moment for a project, and there's actors that are auditioning for this project that I've seen audition 4 times for me. So they're constantly coming back.
And they're probably on your radar now.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And they're on the radar, but they're also... The fact that I was like, okay, well, I first saw you in 2016. It's now 2020.
Any particular names you're wanting to be impressed with at the moment, or are we keeping this tight-lipped for...
I don't really want to put names out there.
Oh, good.
Because that'll be a bit, But,
understandable.
But yeah, I mean, if they continue to keep coming back, and then one day, I mean, they're going to come in and you go, okay, I've seen them before, which means I'm willing to watch them again, and then that again.
And they've been going at it for this long.
Yeah, and sometimes they get it to the point where it's like, oh, they were like second or third on the list with this one or the one before.
And you can
so now I'm excited to go watch them because I'm like, oh shit, like it's been a couple of years, but also I now knew they were close to getting it last time.
Lovely.
All
right, so how do we beat the luck? How do we turn, that yes, you might get lucky into the hard work? Now, my understanding here, as we said before, was the 3 toolkit, which is the headshot, the showreel, and getting an agent.
First of all, the big 3 are important, which is, I think we said headshot, showreel, and getting the agent, so first of all, it's constantly updating your production, promo materials.
So this would be your headshot. Now, obviously it changes every time you get a hairstyle. Is there any other time you should be changing it? Like, should it just be a 3-monthly thing?
I wouldn't necessarily say 3 monthly. I think maybe a couple of times a year. It depends as well. I mean, if you're a teenager, probably every 6 months.
All the damn time.
Yeah, every 6 months you definitely probably have to change because you're growing. But I think once you hit a certain point, I think, because again, the way you look at 21 to 31 is going to be very different.
Change it as often as you possibly
don't, and another, look again, to go back to the castings we're doing now, this is where it's so freaking important to have an updated headshot. Mm-hmm. So there is a performer who I got given their audition. Mm-hmm. Based off their headshot, I wasn't, because I thought, I don't like that look for this character. So it wasn't like I don't like that look at all, but I don't see this character having this hairstyle.
Yes.
So I was a little bit, I wasn't interested in seeing them. The self-tape come through and their hair was different. They had grown their hair out, so, they had the headshot was almost like this punk rock look. And then when the performance came through, I was like, no, hang on, that's the character look. So almost I was not that interested in seeing them.
So party in the headshot, work in the, self-tape.
Yeah, I think that if you do make that decision to go, well, I'm getting the hair cut, I'm dyeing the hair, I'm doing this, then you almost got to book the headshot before you do your next round.
Just tell the photographer to come with you to the salon.
That's it. So you walk out straight into a headshot shoot. But it's important to keep updating, but it's also important to have, the longer you get into it, the more seriously you take it. And this goes into when you're an adult and you do have control and you do respect it as an industry, you do understand that, like when you study law, you obviously that's not cheap. Go to law school's not cheap. Buying law books ain't cheap.
Oh,
you
no.
know. But somehow we've got this. You separate the best from the rest is when you look at performers who don't feel they want to spend that much money. So they're willing to go spend. Oh, I'll just get my friend with their iPhone to take my headshot.
You can tell.
Absolutely, you can tell. Or they go, oh, whatever, man. We're just going to get our friends together for our showreel. We'll shoot on our iPhone.
It's okay. I pressed portrait mode.
Yeah. So
it's got the studio lighting button.
And,
It does not work. But
it's so painfully obvious. And one thing that performers got to realize is just because in your eyes you think you've cut corners and it looks all right, you remember you're sending this to agents and casting directors and production companies that see everybody's headshot, sees everybody's showreel. Yours will stick out like a sore thumb if it's terrible, or if it's not up to professional quality. It just because
in fact, if anything, it makes their life easier because it's one to wipe off the top right away.
Yeah. So just because your housemate or your parents said, "Oh, that looks good," you don't have to go spend $100. That being said, I mean, don't get me wrong. That being said, doesn't mean you have to go spend $2,000 on headshots. You don't have to go spend $5,000 on a show. That's not what I'm saying.
But I want a win machine.
But do your research. You know what I'm saying? Like, do your research. Don't cut corners. And if you're going to make it in this industry, up front there's an investment. And you got to invest into your thing. So always updating your materials, having different options on your headshot. Like I said, I touched on it last week. If you're a guy, have the look with the facial hair, no facial hair. You know what I mean? Give us a couple different. If you're a female, give us more hairstyles. You know what I mean? You want to see the ponytail, then the hair out, and then a few different looks and stuff. And most headshot photographers will guide you. That's what they do. They
know what people like.
Yeah, so they'll tell you where to put your hair and how to do this and what looks to give. And the more you can give, if you're gonna take this seriously, well then I want to click onto your profile and see 5 headshots. I want to see 5 different looks. Absolutely, I think that's fair. Same thing when I look at your showreel. I want to see multiple scenes. I want to see and I want to see you in a character. I don't want to see you as the coffee girl or the waiter.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, there's 2 characters talking. I walk in and I say, hey.
Yep.
Blah, blah, blah. And I walk off.
Yeah, you want to be the guy on the phone, slamming it down.
Yeah, actors are always in this real... It's a catch-22. And again, this is my opinion as somebody that's been in this industry for a while. And I know there'll be agents and casting directors who 110% agree with me. And there's going to be some that are going to oppose me on what I say.
Okay.
Because that's the industry. You'll get, this person will say this and this person will say this.
Yeah, that's cool. So what are you saying?
So what I say is, like, you'll get those performers who have done a walk-on, walk-off neighbours role. And they want that in their showreel. Now, in my head, I'm kind of like, look, you said one line. And yes, I get it. You're opposite that famous...
But we're not casting the famous actor.
Yeah,
we're casting you and you've said one line.
And the fact that you've said one line and it's 12-second clip, yes, it shows me that you've done Neighbours, but as the industry professional, I'm not impressed by a walk-on, walk-off role. I'm not your college friends. I'm not your former high school buddies. Like that's cool. And the fact you've got that experience is good. That's what I want to see on your resume, not necessarily on your show. Now, if it's a media scene, absolutely, let's get that on your showreel. But I mean, I've cut showreels in the past because again, we offer showreel edits as a service, and I get given these. I did
snippets.
This, snippets. I did Packed to the Rafters. I did fucking Neighbours. I did this show, whatever it was.
Whatever the hot show is these days.
Yeah, and I go, okay, where are you? Oh, this clip. Oh shit. And it's like, I can't do much with this. It's 7 seconds.
I come on in and yell at the plant.
Yeah. That's why, because I mean, our performers ask me all the time, and again, I want to separate what we do as a service to what we're doing here as a podcast, because I know we do acting showreels as a service. So I'm not trying to sell the service, in all honesty, but people always ask me, is it worthwhile paying for a showreel? And I'm like, well, yeah, if you haven't done multiple short films.
One of our policies, if you're not happy with our showreel, we're more than happy to let you know the other showreel places in town. No one's ever honoured us on that because they've never been unhappy with our showreels. Well,
yeah. Nice plug. But yeah, no, but they're not. I don't think we have ever been down that road. But the thing is, I'm like, the luxury of paying for it. If you've gone out there and you've made 7 or 8 or 9 short films as an actor, and you've got meaty scenes in there and your lead roles in those, great. You don't need to pay for a showreel because there's enough material in there to cut your own reel. Great, awesome.
Before I get onto that question, I actually want to take you back a little bit to what you're talking about with the Neighbours. Now, you said that, obviously some people are going to be 100% opposed to you with your opinion on, that you've done Neighbours stats. What argument would they be coming from?
Okay, to be honest, I'm not too sure where that'd come from the 9-second walk-on, walk-off role. I'm not sure where
Is it
that
the
would
fact
come
that
from
they've
there.
booked a major show like Neighbours?
That would be
they've got
the
some
only
professionalism?
argument. That would be the only argument to showcase that they've booked a TV gig.
How hard is it to book these TV gigs? Like, obviously, a lot of people will be applying for it. Does it mean something?
No.
Okay.
It,
I tried, guys.
no.
Get more than Neighbours.
Okay, no. It does. Okay, hear me out.
Like I said, you said other people disagree with you,
I'm not.
which means they probably have valid points.
I'm
What are they?
I'm not diminishing that, but it's not.
It's not
if it's say you did a 6-episode stint on Neighbours, yes, that's good. That's impressive. That's
Cool.
But if you've literally been cast as the waiter,
But just name dropping,
Yeah.
you know, the fact that you're on a professional set, not
they're
that
the
big a
differences,
deal
and that's why I
compared
want
what
to
you can
stress
do.
the
Yep.
differences is this. It's like if you're literally doing, and everyone knows what a walk-on, walk-off role is.
Oh,
It's you know what I mean.
My
You-
favourite.
You barely even your lines aren't even on screen. Like you know what I mean. So, and that's great, but that doesn't showcase you as a performer. That's your bread and butter. So you don't want to be in a situation that's my bread and butter. I'm going to let that be part of my reel. Now that also shows me, and again, this is just my personal opinion. That shows me you haven't gotten enough to put on your reel. So, you know, as I was saying before, I think that if you have gone out there and you've booked, you know, say you've booked 6 or 7 different good shows where you've actually had proper scenes. I played the cop, and the cop was a caring, and he was you know, that's great because that's at least showing a character.
Yeah, all right. That's all cool. But the other thing you mentioned just then was that you've got people who, if they've done the 8-9 scenes, even though they haven't been on Neighbours, you said something interesting there. You said they can probably cut it themselves. Is it still worth getting someone who knows how to cut a show reel?
They've got enough to cut it, not to cut it themselves.
Cool.
Yeah. Like, again,
it's one of the things I want to stress to people.
Yeah, if you've got no editing experience,
Feel free to practice, but please get a professional
but if
editor.
you've got yeah.
Even if
Because-
it's already cut and you're just putting it together, the editor will know how to put it. If any colouring needs to be done, sound tweaking, it adds to the polish, which puts you at the top of the pile.
So to clarify, if you say you've booked a few feature films and quite a few short films, and you've got enough characters in there, and again, character, not screen time, character. You always want to build your show reel off of characters, not off screen time, and that's what I mean. And that's why sometimes people go, "Oh, I also don't like mixing commercial and film content in the one show reel. I don't like that. I prefer you to have a commercial reel and obviously a theatrical reel."
Once again, I'm assuming that's a personal thing.
Oh, yeah,
Or do you find it
I think that's
accepted?
general. I think that's a general.
Okay.
People want them separate. But
Is it just because they're different markets?
yeah,
Cool.
definitely. Yeah. Because especially as soon as you book more than one commercial, you've done a few commercials and corporate videos and shit. You want to put that on one reel.
Yeah.
That's bread and butter.
And I guess it doesn't really sell a film scene where, you know, like, I don't really love you anymore because of this really tasty blend of coffee.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
That's
Just mix them up, you know?
Yeah. That's the importance of showreel. So
Please get an editor.
But
play yourself.
Or train yourself in editing before you cut your reel and
Yes.
put it out there. So you got a couple of options again. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we got I'll plug our own service. We got a show Reddit service that's relatively cheap.
Well, we're allowed to say how we operate, which
Yeah.
is, we usually, well, obviously head slate, which is something that you should always get right.
Yeah, head slate, tail slate.
What should they be sticking in a head slate and tail slate on a generic show reel?
Headshot, obviously name or stage name if you have elected to go for a stage name. If you're with an agency, put the agency company details on there.
All right.
Otherwise, just keep it as that with your blah demo reel.
Does tail slate have anything different, or is it basically the
Usually
same
what
thing
you'll
at the
do
end?
is you'll find that the head slate will just be the headshot and name,
Okay.
and then the tail slate will have the details.
Gotcha. So that'll be agent contact. By that point, the agent's really excited, wants to get in touch.
Yeah, well, hopefully by then you've got the agent, that's casting directors. But yeah, otherwise you can put your own details on there. But again, you know what I mean?
All right.
Like it's...
Oh, let's kick off with the category that you're probably not the most versed in, given your recent experience on TKG. What would you do to fill out a commercial show reel?
Oh, look, it's just showing, again, and this is where it gets tricky again.
Like, where do you
First
go
you have
for
to
variety?
book the... First you got to book the commercials.
Can you, kind of fake a self-tapey thing at home, or
You could.
do a scene?
Yeah, you could.
I mean, commercials themselves are just, smile, talk to camera, show the product.
But commercial reels could be everything. There could be a bit of just, it could be a corporate thing if you've done some voiceover work or you've done some piece to camera work.
True.
If you've podcasted or, things like that, you can throw a snippet or two on there. Anything with on-camera personality you put on your commercial reel.
Nice. All right. And now on to the one I'm sure you've got plenty to talk about.
Yeah.
What are we chucking in a film reel? Like, do we want one scene?
Yeah.
Do we want 5 scenes?
Look, to be honest with you, you don't want to overfill it, but you can't underfill it either. So
Is it similar to web video where, 60 to 90 seconds is a sweet spot, or do you want to go to like 3 minutes?
between 90 and 3.
Okay.
90 seconds and 3 minutes usually. I think you're finding sizzle reels at around 90 seconds is where it's kind of at. Like I always suggest have a 90-second sizzle and have a 3-minute show reel.
Gotcha.
That's kind of my suggestion. But I think it's also showing...
Should the sizzle and the showreel have differing content if you have enough? Or should the sizzle simply be a packaged highlight of your best stuff?
I think package
And
highlight
then-
your best stuff.
and then the
because you always
showreel
want to put
flesh-
your best stuff out.
And the reel fleshes it out.
Big. I mean, if you're lucky to have, or you've worked hard to get.
Well, quite a lot of actors, by the time they're in the mid-20s, they'll have done a lot of shorts, which will hopefully
Yeah,
have got
shorts
them-
are good for that.
It's the perfect thing for showreels.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, what you want to show on your film reel or your show reel, theatrical show reel, is again characters, not just screen time, character work. So you know what I mean. We want to see, if you're an older male or whatever, it's like, oh, we'd love to see him in that kind of assertive police kind of role, and then we want to see him as a, maybe a dodgy drug dealer. Then we're going to see him doing this. So there's
loving father.
yeah, things like that. So there's plenty of versatility in there. So you can kind of go, okay, we can, and different looks. Different
Is
looks.
there something you can cheat here where we can just go, all right, I want a scene which shows this emotion, a scene that shows this one, a scene that shows this one?
Yeah, you come to us and you get a show reel.
Yeah, and someone like you will walk you through it?
Yeah.
So let's assume that I'm doing that now.
Yeah.
All right, how do you figure out what me as a performer, what my strengths are,
Yeah.
and what kind of scenes you'd be filming?
Yeah, so the way it starts off is we have like a consultation.
Yes.
So if you're
So
the
hi,
artist...
I'm Peter, I'm not
Yeah.
an actor, and we're going to fake it.
Okay, so let's say you've at least trained. Let's hope you've trained. Because I think that if you haven't trained yet, you should be looking into that avenue before going down the road of a showreel.
Gotcha.
Because again, you have to invest money into this industry, and I think training is the first place you invest it.
I'm assuming training's a given before you even develop your tool.
So I'd say this. From a hierarchy point of view, you first invest in your training, then you start to invest in your headshot, then you invest in your showreel.
Okay. So there's probably a fourth element there in the training that should be considered as part of your toolkit.
Yeah,
I mean, I'd consider that kind of...
every training's different. I mean, there's acting schools out there that show reels are incorporated in the training program.
Do you need to find a different acting school according to what style of...
Yeah.
So you could find that a different acting teacher could...
My God, when you're a performer, you go to an acting school that's big, and all of a sudden you won't resonate with it, won't connect, and you won't have a good time. There's not a knock on the school, it's just you don't gel with that. And then you go to a different school and you gel with it, and it's like, that's my thing. Like, schools out there, and I'm not knocking the schools, but like, I remember I used to work with Whopper students when they graduated Whopper.
Yep.
And their head coach of Whopper, it was like a cult. I know Howard Fine, and I've got nothing but nice things to say about Howard Fine, but it's a cult. Like, I've seen them walk with chairs to their teacher. So the teacher gets up and walks, and you'll have 2 students carry a chair back to where they are. Like, that's cult-like behavior. So you don't get that
Glad you
without...
didn't make me carry these chairs in.
Yeah. So you don't get that without respect. You know what I mean? So, and I've known people that have gone to these bigger schools and gone, didn't like it, didn't care for it. Then you got others that'll literally swear by it, and that's it. So I think every
So it's
performer...
probably good to shop around before you commit to one?
And I think, that's why it's always good to do some short courses first.
Do they
to find out what kind of style...
Do most of these courses give you like a free sample class, or at least they come along and
I
check it out?
I know a few do.
Do the
Like
good ones?
I know Howard Fine lets you audit.
Good.
The
So you're saying the good ones probably will.
good ones, yeah, I think they do, yeah.
Good to hear.
Yeah, they let you audit a class or whatever, and ask people that have done them.
Yeah,
That's the other thing as well. Like, and that's one thing that we do a bit as well. I've had a lot of messages over the last 12 months of people messaging me school names and saying, "What do you think of this and what do you think of that?" And again, these are clients that we've worked with. You know what I mean? So,
All right, so let's develop my career now.
Yeah.
We got to figure out what kind of scenes are we sticking in.
yeah. So what we do first is we sit down, we kind of look at where you've trained. So we start to kind of work out where do you want to go. Because there's 2 rules of thumb that I say to performers is, this is where you now have your heart and your brain, and you put your heart and your brain into your career. So you sit down and you say, okay, well, my brain tells me that I'm going to get cast in these kind of like IT kind of roles where I'm kind of like the tech guy and I'm doing this, right? And I'm like, okay, cool, that's fine. Let's design some scenes around that. Okay. But also your heart says, no, but I want to play like this kind of role. You know what I mean? I want to play like the Guy Ritchie English comedian kind of gangster kind of role.
You know what, mate?
Yeah, so you might have a dream to be that style of performer or play that style of character. But then over here, it's like, nah, you're going to be that guy.
I'm going to earn my money doing,
Yeah, you're going to earn your money doing that. So what I tell performers is I say... what I tell performers is I'm like, let's work on both. Because you want to showcase both. Let's not ignore the brain. But at the same time, if you only go with your brain, you will burn out and you'll lose the heart for the industry. Mm-hmm. If you only go with your heart... you will then eventually get nowhere because you're not using your brain enough to then make it into the industry.
So, as I said in one of the earliest films to ever be made, Fritz Lang's Metropolis, the brain and the heart cannot exist without each other.
Exactly. Thank you. But that's what you do. So I'll sit you down and we'll kind of work that out. So then we'll find some scenes that kind of cater to both. Now, it also depends on where you're at. Now, what we try to do is our packages, again, I'm trying not to plug, again, I want to, but... We try to create affordable packages so you can do multiple scenes, as opposed to then doing, going out there.
We understand you kind of need multiple scenes.
Yeah, there's guys when it comes to.
So let's refocus. So we found I'm an IT guy and I've found my other one. If I want to fill out a third one, how do I explore my options there? Do I go for more of a fuck it, I want to play, or is it am I better off trying to double down and do maybe a slightly different IT guy? Or stay within a typecast if I'm aiming for it.
Yeah, I think stick with one or the other. I think say you're doing 3 scenes, you kind of go, okay, let's just play the generic IT guy, in a comedic sense. You know what I mean? And then we're going to play the kind of gangster one in a kind of more serious comedy sense. You know what I mean? Still has a bit of depth there. It's not slapstick comedy, but it's And
then maybe more serious IT.
Yeah, then we'll go more drama and still plays that.
So between my 3 scenes, we got shit like I'm hacking into the mainframe. Yeah, I'm hacking into the mainframe. Oh, what, mate? He's hopped into the mainframe. Yeah. That was a terrible Cockney accent.
Yeah.
I had to remember what Cockney was before I did it.
We'll have different scripts, FYI, each time. But yeah, you get the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. But and so we start playing with that. And then it's like, okay, and then we kind of put it to work and then we can film it. Because now you've got a showreel that's focused on you.
Cool.
Okay, so we get to showcase these characters front and center. You know what I mean? Which is going to look a lot better on your showreel than if you're doing a neighbour's walk on. Hi, can I get a coffee, sir? Yep, walk off. And then putting that on your reels. So you get what I'm talking about. So and this goes back to what I was saying at the start and the older you get and the more you sit there and say, I want to make it into this industry, I've got to treat it like an industry. Mm-hmm. You need to invest. Now, again, if you're out there and again, if you go out there and you make sure that all my headshots I've got 5 or 6 different looks on headshots, that's going to give you a better look in when you're getting cast in these films, especially early days. Like Star Now is a great resource. We've actually got a great partnership with Star Now. So obviously a lot of short film creation.
Thank you, Star Now.
Yeah. So a lot of short film creation and web series get put on Star Now. Now, if you're applying to things on Star Now and the casting people or whoever's making the film, the director, the producer, they start clicking on your profile and we see 5 headshots with 5 different looks. You might not have your showreel yet, but that's enough to at least say, let's see you in the room. Mm-hmm. If you've got 1 headshot and then you've got a couple of Instagram-like photos.
You've nailed step 1 and you have our attention.
And one thing I got to say, guys, is don't treat your acting profiles like Instagram or Facebook. Do not put that shit on there. I don't want to see a selfie with you at the beach. Like, use screen grabs, use, shit like that. Like, we want film and TV content. We want model shots and things like that.
Yeah, the only time I want to see you at a beach is if you were in a movie.
Yeah, commercial print or screen grabs and headshots. That's what I want to see on a profile. Not here's me, Instagram, how you doing, hashtag this shit, that shit.
Hey guys, 88 Studio.
Yeah, that's it.
So do I have to throw a monologue in if that's something that's worth
considering?
Definitely
you can. Like,
should it replace a scene or maybe 3 scenes in a monologue, or would you prefer 3 scenes if they were good? Like, I'm not sure, do you use monologue as a filler?
Depends on the content. Depends on the content.
How would I judge whether or not I'm about to torpedo my own showreel by throwing in a monologue I really like but may not be the right thing? Does it have to show off a character thing?
Yeah, it depends on what it is. I think that...
Because my worry here is that I don't want to accidentally say to all the people at home, you can just do 3 monologues instead of 3 scenes.
I'd definitely be throwing scenes in, but I'd say, do 3 scenes in a monologue, 2 scenes in a monologue. Cool. That's why, again, we cater our packages for that.
Yes. That's why I figured I'd just mention that monologues are an option and slightly different use. And
monologues are good, but again, you don't want to use a monologue on your showreel for 1.5 minutes. You know what I mean?
They're like a good sample of, sample
maybe
of self-tape.
30 seconds of them. But yeah, I wouldn't, if it's a self-tape monologue, I wouldn't put it on your showreel.
Cool.
I try to keep your show reel as professional as possible.
Gotcha.
You can, and the beauty of some of these profiles is you might be able to put a few self-tapes down on your profile as extra video material. So the way I tell performers to do it is you want your show reel to be, show reel is like a film trailer. We talked about trailer in week one about how important a trailer is, right? For you to go and watch the movie. Your show reel is your acting trailer. So you want to make sure it looks good, sounds good, is good, performances are rock solid, right? And then what you want to do is, and this is why, it goes back to what we do, and I'm pretty sure most showreel companies should do this, is we'll get you your reel, but we'll also give you access to the full scenes. Because, the scenes might go for 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Mm-hmm. We use a 90-second snippet or, minute 15 snippet of a scene, or a minute snippet of a scene, and we put that in the showreel, and then you can then link and embed the clip of the full scene into your profile.
Which is fantastic.
So, and that's what I do sometimes. When I'm going through the casting rabbit hole and I'm looking at performers, I might watch their show reel. They might have a 2.5 minute show reel. And I'm going, that scene was interesting. And there's a link to it. I'm going to watch the full scene. So I start watching the full scene now.
Nice.
But I wouldn't put self-tape stuff on your show reel. Actors do it. Some places will tell you, it doesn't matter as long as it's showcasing your acting ability. I said a comment.
But the general demo advice is stick to scenes.
The reason for that is we can't help being nitpicky when it comes to technical stuff.
Yeah, it's your job.
Because it's just a subconscious thing that the mind does. Mm-hmm. I mean, I said it last week or the week before, when you're talking about casting and you're going through show reels and stuff, if there's bad quality of something, it's going to turn you off straight away. And the worst thing you could do is go, I've got one good looking scene, so I'm going to put that at the end. No, put your best stuff at the start. Mm-hmm. That's a given. Put your best stuff at the start. But when you start looking, okay, here's a really cool looking scene, it's professional, done. Oh, now it's a self-tape that's echoey and underlit. And you start going, okay, well, that's like, not...
why is your, resume or CV of film so limited that this shit made it in there?
Yeah, exactly, Because that's exactly what it does. It makes us go, what are you not doing?
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? And again, it's when you go out there and invest in a show reel...
So, recommended to do scenes. If you're doing a monologue, at least still get it done properly.
Yeah, and that's why we do cinematic monologues.
True.
You know what I mean? So we can still make them look like a scene, but it's just a monologue. And that's what you can do as well.
Lovely. All right, so that's the headshot and the showreel taken care of. You touched on the training there as well. Mm-hmm. I believe we're up to the final factor for finishing our careers as actors. It's the agent. And I just want to confirm, we're talking about the Australian market here, so agent and manager don't exist.
So they're one and the same.
Cool.
In Australia.
Do you want to say what they are separately first and then how they merge in, or just go straight to what an agent is here?
Well, yeah, we're separately, you can go, an agent, they're both looking after your careers to an extent. Mm-hmm. Agents just out there resourcing, booking work. Managers are managing your career.
Cool.
And that goes...
So the agent's the one getting you in the room with casting directors, and the manager's the one calling up going, get to the gym, you idiot.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, in a real, light way of saying it, quick way of saying it. One thing I will start off with right now is, guys, if you do want to learn more about this stuff, do jump on fusionstudios.com.au. There is actually an agent-ready program that you can look at. It's very affordable right now, but it's like a 1 hour, I think it's a 1 to 2 hour video series that actually spells out agents, what they do, the different tiers of agencies.
So if you think what we're telling you now is useful, then you can get an even deeper dive.
Yeah, it goes. You get to see more of my face, which is great. I'll do a bit of work there, but yeah, it's it really breaks down that process for you. It goes into details of managers, agents, goes through red flags of agencies, which I'll touch on a few of them now. But it really runs through those red flags in a lot of details. It gives you the different tiers, levels of tiers of agents and things like that. So if you are new to the industry, guys, I do strongly recommend fusionstudios.com.au and look at the Agent Ready program. But yeah, as you were saying, so separately, they do their separate things in the US because that's, the bigger industry needs to be that way. Over here, I guess the industry is not as big, so they kind of act one and the same.
Cool. Is it like they do both fully, or is it that you kind of half an agent, half manager? Or do you find someone like 90% manager?
I'm not talking for every agency here.
I'm obviously the difference is,
Yeah, because you got to remember, in Australia, you have so-and-so agency, so-and-so management. Whereas in America, if it's something's called so-and-so management, that's a management company. If it's so-and-so agency, it's an agency.
Whereas here, they're kind of interchangeable.
Yeah, they're just one or the other, you know what I mean? So-and-so management, so-and-so agent, so-and-so whatever.
So-and-so productions.
So I'm not talking for everything, because I do feel some agents do both roles. Mm-hmm. I think that the better agents in Australia do both roles. So, they'll follow up.
Sounds like you have to.
Yeah. They'll kind of
keep... And it gives your actors a better help.
But a lot of them don't. A lot of them are just like 99% agent, 1% manager.
Right.
But again, that goes down to because there is such a large quantity of agents now in Australia. I mean, we've got over 200 agents in Australia now.
How many actors do you think we have?
Oh, probably 20,000, but like...
So that's actually...
that's loose figures.
That's
man. That's real
100
loose.
heads per agency?
Yeah, it's loose figures.
Yeah, right. That's not much though.
Yeah, loose figures there. But yeah, it's a tough one as well because I think there's so many agencies out there that don't do either role, but they're still agencies. Yeah.
Probably not the most ideal.
Yeah, and then you got others who are just really good and do both roles very well.
Lovely.
So that comes down to it. So when you're at that stage where you've got your materials, because the other thing as well is, and the beauty of working with so many different age groups of performers over the last 3, 4, 5 years that we have. I mean, we've worked with teens, we've worked with adults, we've worked with 50 plus, 60 plus year olds who are kind of getting into the industry. And it's like, the common thing is, like, a lot of them have this, well, where do I start? How do I get an agent? And all this kind of thing. And it's like, first things first, do your research. And don't just jump on an agency because that's the sake of it. That's how you get stuck.
So how do you do your research? What do you do to vet an agent?
Okay, find out how many people are on their books. That's step one. So you jump on an agency website. They'll usually have a tab for talent. You jump on that. You find out...
Are we looking for a magic number here where, it's small enough that you get recognized or large enough that you're...
It depends on how big the agency is.
Yeah.
So you look at how many agents per client.
Oh.
If that makes sense. So, you know what I mean? If you look at something, can one agent handle 1,000 performers? Probably not.
True.
Not properly.
Yes.
Right? So, if you've got an agency that's big, that's got 7 agents working for them and they're representing 600 clients, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
So that's less than 100 clients per agent. Right?
That's a good number.
Fine. Yeah.
Cool.
I think it's fine.
So you want to get it down to below 100 people per agent is a good ratio?
Yeah, I think 100 to 1's all right.
Cool.
I feel. Yeah.
What would someone who's really striving go for? Like, what do you reckon you can get? Maybe 50 to 1, 20 to 1? Like, how niche can you get your agencies if you're willing to hunt?
Well, the other thing as well you got to understand is it's also, you need a crop of talent. It's like I was saying in week 1, it's like a sports team, you know what I mean? You got to have defenders, you got to have forwards, you got to have midfielders. So that goes into it as well. So you need different age ranges. So we need kids, we need teens, we need, 20 to 25, yes. 25 to 30, 30 to 35, 35 to 40. 40 to 45.
You got to make sure that when you apply to join the agency, you are the best.
Yep.
At
so
your
you
field.
got all these different age ranges. Then you've got different ethnicities inside those age ranges.
Yes.
Different genders inside those age ranges. Different body shapes and sizes and hair colors and everything like that. So all of a sudden you'll find it's really easy to build the books that way, and get your 100 pretty easy. Like that's so easy.
In fact, it's probably hard to keep it down to 100 by that point.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So, but the thing is, you can handle it. It's the ones you got to look out for are the ones that if you've got one person working, but there's 1,000 people in the books.
Gotcha.
And the other thing as well is you could have multiple clients. Like I said, it's easy to build 100, but if you're looking at an agency's website, and it's like, well, they've got 150 clients per one agent, but they're so different. They're so spread out, and it's like, oh my God, they've got different everything. There's not too many of the same looking actor. It shows that they've spread out, and that's fine. But then if you jump on a website, on an agent's website, and you see, they've got a lot of brunettes, 25 to 30 on their books.
Probably don't want to play there if you're a 25 to 30 brunette.
There's 65 of them.
You may be competing.
There's 65. I've got to compete with my own agency before I'm competing with who's getting submitted. So, that's not ideal. So these are things that you can do your research on. The other thing is, and again, this is why I say go to fusionstudios.com.au because they really run through all this stuff in detail. But also understand what else does the agency offer. Because I think that, and again, I can cop as much flack for this as I want, but let's crack the code here. I mean, if agencies are forcing you to do certain things through their business, then you got to understand how good is their business going.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So let's say, for instance...
We're talking things like headshots?
Yeah. So let's say, for instance, I turn 88 to 1 Productions, and I'm just going to let's crack the Da Vinci Code here. So let's say I turn 88 to 1 Productions into a talent agency tomorrow.
Cool.
Right? So I say to my clients, you're now with 88 to 1 agency.
Okay.
But in order to be repped by 88 to 1 agency, you have to come through us for your showreel. You have to come through us for your headshot. And you got to pay for these things first, and then we'll put you on the books. Now, That being said, in principle, not the worst thing because all we're stating is you have to have these things.
Yeah, but
So it's not the worst in principle.
only other time in a line of work that I've ever been told I need to pay money up front before I get to join a business was a pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
Sorry, multi-level market. It's a pyramid scheme.
Yep, there you go. So let's just say, because what you're doing is you're not a scam because you're giving them a service, right?
Yeah.
But now that's got to ask the question. Let's say I'm
You're
charging...
not exactly being...
Yeah. But say I'm
phrase
charging
service.
them this, right? Say I'm charging them $500 for a showreel.
Yes.
Which isn't that bad. I mean,
Yeah.
for a showreel. Let's say $500, you get 2 scenes, right? And let's say you get 5 headshots for another $500, right? So you're spending $1,000, but you're getting all this stuff for it. And not only that, it helps me do my job. Now, I'm making $1,000 a head off these performers. And because it's our company doing it, that now becomes revenue for my company.
Oh dear.
Right?
So now you're in the pyramid scheme thing where
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
actually making more money.
So I'm
signing
making
people up.
revenue through signing people up. So
Rather
now
than
I'm
getting them
more...
work.
Exactly. So now I'm more... My incentive's to sign more clients.
So you've created a pyramid scheme without actually having a pyramid.
So I'm
Well
sitting
done.
there going, okay, well, in the month of March, we need to run 20 grand. I'm just going to sign 20 clients.
Yeah, I'm not going to find any work for them because
Yeah.
I'm signing them
And
up.
because everything's done in-house, then it's only revenue that we're making that's going back into our own company. So now what that means is, it's okay, well, does that mean, where does my incentive lie? Does it make it, because now I'm going to making, let's be honest here, per average, I will make more money off my clients by signing them than I will booking them work. Because there will be the odd client or two that you're booking work for that you're going to make more money on commission, right? So let's say...
Sorry, I'm just thinking like now.
Yeah.
We should totally start that agency. How much are you saying? 20 grand the first month?
Yeah, 20 grand first month. I'll do this next week. Probably going to bring this. We might have to cancel this podcast. But no, I'm kidding. But so the reason I say this is because it's not a scam, but you've really got to start looking at that agency going, well, where are they making their money? So if you look at my fake agency now and I'm making $1,000 a head, right? On principle, on average, I'm going to make more money off signing them than I am getting them work, right? As I was saying,
Which means
before.
you're incentivized to hunt more instead of get work for
Now,
your
the odd
clients.
client or two will then make more than $1,000 in commission off. They book a couple of commercials here or there. I might make that $1,000 extra on commission, right?
Hell, if you're lucky, they'll probably book it themselves and have to go through you.
Yeah,
You wouldn't even have to do
probably,
the
yeah.
work,
But that's what ends up
you'll be
happening now
hunting
because,
everyone else.
because now I'm putting more work into admin for showreels, headshots, and getting clients and advertising for clients, right? Than I am actually networking with casting directors, networking with industry professionals, and getting my talent out there. Now, if a good agency is going to be working so hard getting their talent out there, they don't have time for that shit.
True.
Now, that being said, is they might, and again, there's so many levels to this. That's why, feel free to hit us up for advice and guidance. Or again, go to Fusion Studios, and again, I'm there as well to ask for advice and guidance when it comes to looking for representation, because you might have an agency that's got a good deal with a company. Like we, as 881 Productions, we have an affiliate with a lot of agencies that send their clients to us for showreels, but it's not mandatory. It's not, we give their clients discounts, but it's not a mandatory, you have to get a showreel through them or you can't be signed by us. Now, if you've got an agency who sits there and says, look, we do put on headshot days and we do put on showreel shoots. If you haven't got that content, we advise you to get the content. If you want to go out there and get your own content, then come back.
That's very different from.
That's fine.
You have to use
Yeah.
our methods and
that's
us
where
the
you got to
money.
be careful, because if they're saying, look, we will help you get those materials done and solid, and we'll use our people, and you'll get discounts because you're using our people. Okay, that's okay. But if you say, well, no, I've got another booking with another company, and they're like, yeah, no dramas, come back to us when you got those materials, and you come back to them, it's all good. Yeah, that's
You
fine
still
too.
win because it means you get the content to get the actor of the jobs.
Yeah, so that's fine too. But these are things that you really got to be wary of, because if an agency is making more money off signing you than they are of actually representing you, that's a big problem.
All right, that's fantastic. Anything else?
Yeah, the last thing, well, to be honest, there's heaps of things to look out for. But the other thing as well is financially. Like, you know what I mean? It's agents shouldn't charge upfront fees. Agents aren't memberships. They earn commission. Agents make their coin off commission.
It's supposed to be a team where they make money.
Yeah. So if you're signing up what they call if that being said, doesn't mean that everything's free. Like an agent might say, we need you to pay this, and this. That's not always a bad thing. Always ask what it's for. So if an agency says, we go to sign up your showcast, your casting network, you know, and that it's going to cost $200-$300. Well, you can research that and see that that price is justified.
Yes.
And there might be a $30 admin fee for them to do it. That's fine too.
And don't forget, guys, if you are ever concerned that you think an agent might be messing around with this, we are available. You know our email and stuff. Please hit us up. We like to help the community.
Yep, definitely. So yeah, but if it's a membership fee, if you're paying a monthly fee to be part of an agency,
get out.
Don't sign. And I'll say that straight up, because all the agencies that we know and work with and trust and have good reputations, none of them do that. So yeah, just be really wary of that.
Nice. Is there any other red flags, maybe not for the actors per se, but something actors can spot in other crew members? You know, it's like...
So, yeah, I do want to talk about this, because it's...
Oh, good.
It's, there's a shitload of red flags. A shitload of red flags for performers to look out for. So, I watched this, I don't know what to call it. We watched it together. It was a podcast.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, some bloke. I mean, look...
Oh yeah, we asked the internet, some of our followers.
Yeah, we did. That's right. We did too. We got a lot of feedback on that too, which was funny.
We got feedback on every opinion you have.
Yeah, but he says something along the lines of always do what a director tells you to do. And that really grinded my gears.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that, especially if you were my director.
Yeah. So this comes back to what I said last week. Like, once you've got trust and respect between director and actor, first. Then yeah, absolutely. Once there's trust there, then sure, because then you trust that director's doing, well, you know,
makes sense.
What's right for the project and the role. When you go on for these indie student films are tough, because students usually it's safe, but it's not up to a certain caliber. So student films are tough because the students are working their way through and learning.
Yes.
How to do things. So it's not going to be the most professionally run set. It's going to be a little bit of a clusterfuck at times because things are going wrong and the students are working how to troubleshoot and work out problems along the way. So there's not too much to look out for from a red flag point of view with student productions. But with indie stuff like short films and things like that, you got to be wary, man, because there is a lot of just stuff out there that makes me concerned. And I've been out of, like, when it comes to like indie shorts and shit, I'm not too sure what the landscape's like now. I just remember in WA back in 2010 to 2015, seeing the amount of productions that were like horrorcore and almost like porn-like shoots, and that were they disguised it as like a horror, but really it was just fucking torture porn.
Or I mean, you don't act, so you're not guilty of this, but the amount of actors that wanted to direct something and they just basically cast themselves as the lead and then put the hottest actress they wanted to make out of it.
That too. I mean,
and
that's...
God damn, and the scenes were horrible. The scripts were literally written just for an epic kissing scene, so none of the actors came out of it with anything useful for a showreel or a career.
There is still a lot of that, you know what I mean?
I wouldn't surprise me.
A lot of that, and it's like, at the end of the day, look, if the consent's there and actors want it, that's fine. But it's not quality.
Yeah.
And that's the thing as well. There's so many different castings out there that you just got to be wary of, man. Like, if people are running castings out of their house, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I know, it's hard because there is circumstances where that does happen and it's fine.
You mean like us, where our house is also our workplace?
Yeah, but we don't run auditions out of here, though. But we
True.
do run shoots and stuff, but that's fine too. But you know you're coming in for a shoot.
We have a multi-story house where
yeah.
we have a separate office area.
Yeah. So, but we don't run. I wouldn't run auditions out of here. But like, you know, I mean, the only time I've ever run auditions at a house was a short film we did back in, I think it was 2014. That was only because it was the house we're shooting in.
Works. Yeah.
So
Get you in the mood.
yeah, exactly. So we're in a location recce kind of thing. But we had our producer there. You know,
perfect.
Yeah, the other lead actor was there, the director, obviously me, a couple of other people, and it was all, you know.
Would have been a hell of a bender that night.
Yeah, and it's, so, but it's tough as well because there's so many different things out there that you just got to be mindful of. And again, these indie shorts or long shorts, you know, these 25-minute things where it's just, if it does feel like this is just some twisted fantasy, don't be afraid to say no. Because one thing is performers always say, well, I need to get things...
No matter how the screenwriter gift wraps it to you, just, avoid it. It seems like something dodgy.
Yeah, I mean, if it's gift wrapped like that, it's probably dodgy.
True.
But because in the end, performers go, well, I don't want to say no to things just in case it becomes something big. It's like, if you're afraid to say no, you're going to have to turn some things down.
Yeah.
And
it's something you're going to eventually have to do. Get practice while it's in your best interest.
And because the other thing as well is like especially early days, is you don't want to say no because I need showreel material. And it's like, okay, but if it's some bloke who has cast himself in this Action Jackson scene where he just wants to make out with an attractive female. How good's that going to be for you, real? Maybe, maybe it turns out good. Maybe it turns out not good.
I think the bigger problem there is that, well, people like you and I would be watching it on casting on the other side. And we know those scenes. We know what they are.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, it's that scene. We're not going to get anything useful. Skip to the next part of the reel.
Yeah. Yeah. And there is so many.
We've been there. We've shot it.
Yeah. And there's just so many things. So always just be real mindful. And
any other red flag? I mean, you talked about financial red flags earlier with being forced to pay. Is there anything non-agent wise, financial?
Yeah, just be careful what you sign. Like that's the other thing as well. Like when you're doing,
should the agent be able to go over most of this,
or
is
depends,
there some
a lot of this is before people get an agent.
I mean, are we using the word lawyer here at least to start off, or just read?
You can just read. I mean, if it's troublesome too, you get advice. And advice could be from anyone. It could be from other filmmakers. It could be from
this is important, guys. If it's something that you are signing and it's legally written,
the reason I say
if
this,
you're confused or slightly ambiguous, do not sign it until you understand what that means.
The reason I say this is there's a web series that was shooting in 2012, 2013 maybe. Quite a few years ago. And it was a web series where they had like 20 actors involved in it. Like it was, they were trying to turn it into something bigger, which is good on them for trying. But the contracts were dodgy because there was something in the contract that stated if you pulled out of the shoot during filming, you would then be financially responsible to pay for the reshoots.
What?
Yeah. Now, keep in mind, this was an unpaid gig.
What?
With no deferred contract in place, no deferred payments in place.
Wow.
That they were pitching to the actors that they were going to sell this to Channel 9. So this is where I'm talking about red flags and to be mindful and be wary because, first of all, it's a web series. So just, okay. Second of all, to sign a contract so if you, all of a sudden, does that mean that you're liable if you're halfway through the shooting process and you break your leg?
Yeah.
So, you've said that you do some extracurricular sporting activity and you've injured yourself and you can't commit to the rest of the shooting slate, you've now got to pay for your reshoots despite the fact that you weren't being financially compensated during shooting to begin with.
Yeah. Yeah, that's...
See how that's dodgy? And what was happening as well, so then that also means that if you signed onto this web series that said that, and halfway through the web series, you actually book a TV series. So now you've got to say, well, I've got to now pay for my own reshoots so I can go take this other job. Now, that being said, when you commit to a project, you should commit to that project. But there's also got to be a time and place where if you're not paying your cast and crew, be ready for them to pull out for a paid acting gig. And that is acceptable. In my opinion, that's acceptable. It doesn't make you a flake.
To be honest, I'd kind of be happy.
Same.
But if I'm booking an actor that's getting paid work, I'm happy with the actor I'm getting.
If you're openly honest about it, it's not a problem at all. I mean, I've done it before. I've let...
Yeah. The important thing is to fully disclose what you're doing.
Back in our short film career, we would all the time, I'd be recasting. Because I'm working with actors who have experience that I'm sitting there going, oh shit, you've booked a, $3,000, $4,000 commercial.
Well done.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Go do it. I'm not going to stop you doing that. That's good for you. Or you've booked an ABC series. Shit, go for it.
And we've rescheduled things to work around. I remember there was one particular day where you changed around an actor to come on in the afternoon.
Yeah.
You were ADing that day, so it was easy because... Yeah. But it's cool things like that where... Yeah,
if you're open and honest about it. That's the other thing. So that's why I got to say, be careful what you sign, because the other thing as well is, and again, maybe it's practice again, and maybe this is where my opinion and what people should... And this is where it opens up for debate.
All you have is your opinion.
When you treat short films like they're feature length, it's good in one way for the practice, but it's also bad in one way because then you're jeopardizing other people's ability to use that for promotional material. So, if you want to shoot a short film and then go, we're not releasing it to you guys to use for your showreels for 18 months because we're doing festival runs. Get over yourself. It's a short fucking film.
Give your actor a scene, put a damn watermark on it.
Especially if you haven't... But now, if you've paid them, do what you want. If you've paid the actor, withhold it as long as you want.
True.
Because you've compensated them.
Yes.
But when you don't pay the actor and you don't give them the footage for their reel, that's a bare minimum.
What has the actor done?
That is a bare minimum courtesy.
Yeah.
If you're not willing to do that because, just in case some festival, it's a fucking scene, man. At least give them a 2-minute snippet of it.
I don't think the festival's going to care
if
they
won't.
In fact,
they don't give a shit.
The festival will probably be happy if in the meantime the actor gets famous.
Well, the festival won't care. They just don't care. So they're the things that do. They're pet. They're not that's not so much a red flag. That's just a pet peeve of mine because it's
it's a bit of a red flag.
It's all good. It's all good to practice feature length philosophies or whatever when you're making shorts because it's good practice and experience. But at the end of the day, guys, it's a short, understand what it is, and compensate your actors at least with the footage.
Cool. So we've dodged the red flags. We've set up our agent headshots, showreel. We've got our training. Now, you mentioned Star Now before. Any other websites besides Star Now that people should be looking at? You also said, was it Fusion Studios? Is that .com.au or online? Or
Yeah, Fusion Studios Online.
.com.au with and there'll be some training. Yep.
Yeah,
we'll have the actual website on a
yeah,
ticker down below.
No, it's fusionstudiosonline.com.au. Go there. There's an agent ready program. I can't recommend that high enough. It's really, and I think it's cheap as right now.
Well, it's basically the same thing you've heard this guy saying all day, but
more
of
detail.
it. Yeah,
more detail.
So if you like this stuff,
more detail. There's graphics. It breaks it down. You own the video. You can watch it back anytime. So there's fusionstudiosonline.com.au, obviously for that stuff. But yeah, from an acting point of view to chase work and stuff, Star Now is great. So if you don't have a Star Now profile, go set one up. I mean, most actors already have that one. Casting Networks is the other one. Go set up your profile on Casting Networks, and Showcast is the other one that gets commonly used to.
Cool. So if you've got Showcast, Casting Networks, and Star Now. Yeah, probably your main three here.
So Casting Networks and Showcast are more agencies use that.
Okay.
So you need to have the profiles as the actor, but your agency will use it.
Cool.
To put you forward and submit. Now there's other ones out there as well that are not as known, and if they're not as known, it means they're not being used as much. So and that comes back to, and this is what I'm saying to jump onto Fusion, because there's certain casting websites out there that some agents will make you sign up to because they get a kickback when you sign up to them.
Which is one of those red flags we discussed earlier.
Which is a red flag. So whereas Showcast and Casting Networks are guaranteed industry standard.
Cool.
Everyone uses them.
Oh, fantastic. This has been a fantastic rundown.
Yep.
You've answered almost every question that our viewers had from last time. We've been up to date on everything from the emails. Once again, quarantine at 88to1.productions. And yeah, thanks very much for that, man.
All good, happy to talk.
I feel like I can go out there and be the shittest IT ukulele playing actor. I'm not even going to pretend that I have a career ahead of me there.
We'll get you some training. The
worst part is it'll probably be trained by you.
Yeah, that's bad for both of us.
One of us will kill each other.
Oh, yeah.
I'll probably kill myself before you kill you.
Week 6 of quarantine, we'll do it.
You know what? We'll film it. We'll take the journey through for all these guys. We'll pull out little Osmo. You can run me through some stuff, and everyone else can laugh at me. All right. Now that we've said that live on camera, it's probably going to happen.
Just like the old days.
Please euthanize me. Thanks very much, Damien, for next episode of the Quarantine Pods. Thank you, everyone else, for watching. It's been a good time. Once again, keep staying at home, flattening the curve, doing your hustles, think about stuff for your headshots, any particular scenes. Keep your writing going if you were doing that from last week. It's a good thing to be doing. Anything else to add, Damo?
Nah, happy days.
It will be happy days. Till next time, guys, thank you very much from 88 to 1.
Peace.